Hello, everybody. Hi. It's like I haven't seen you in a while. It's so good to be back. My name is Bardicdice. You know me as Michael from the tavern, from all the different streams we've been on. And yeah, it's been a little bit since I've been streaming, but life's going on. And who knows, maybe somewhat soon we'll get back to some more consistency. But in the meanwhile, I'd like to get back to doing some one-shots and some minor content with friends. So starting off tonight, all of you guys know we're going to jump into a learn to play with Daggerheart, the cool TTRPG made by Critical Role's Darrington Press. I've been able to play in it in the learn to play and in a campaign. I've been having a blast. So I've kind of figured a lot of you guys have the similar style, and I wanted to bring it to you. And I brought some friends along that look quite familiar, maybe from the Fates United world, if you guys remember. But we'll go around and introduce everyone if you haven't met them before, or if they have some new projects that they want to speak about before we jump into tonight's game. So, starting in total opposite order from how Fates used to be, John. You're muted, my friend.
My wife does not wish for me to speak. That is Steely's husband. I speak as I'm allowed to, apparently. I am Mountainfall. It's good to see everybody again. It's been a while. If anybody watched Fates back in the day, I was Kahurangi. Lots of fun. Really enjoyed doing that. And I am glad to be back for a little short shot, one shot thing. So thanks, Mike, for having me. And hi, everybody.
Perfect. And we'll popcorn it over to the one and the only Deely.
Hi, Deely, aka Raphael. You see me on Let's channel. So there, play Alize, and it's super fun. I also do art and come hang out in the tavern. It's been a hot minute since I've introduced myself like this, so I'm like, is there any other things I should say? I don't think so.
You do some cool art.
Cool art, thanks. There's good art. Go check out the art channel of everyone.
And maps and flags, just saying, if you need a commissioner, she's really good at them.
So many flags.
Especially mermaids on them, just putting that out there. Yeah. If you like that.
If you're into that.
Please don't.
Anyways, anything else?
That's it.
Yeah, go follow her. She's amazing. And
deal with the deal.
Boom, boom, boom. And jumping down to our other team, they are a wonderful streaming duo, Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel, also known as Pip. You can find me over at Marquee Gaming most times, doing art on Mondays and playing in Mystical Mishaps on Sundays, and then also on Let's channel on Tuesdays, or Monday. I guess it's Mondays now, technically. So yeah, I'm all over the place. If you want to see my art, it's over on Instagram at Pip400Arts. And then today, just a little shout out to, I'm sporting Ashley's new print hoodie that's going along with her book she's publishing, and there's pre-orders out, so go to her profile and go love her.
That's her second book that she's publishing.
Her second book. And
Crazy.
I walk in a bookstore sometimes and I see her books on the shelves, and it's surreal and awesome.
So cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's so neat.
It's in your background too. Are you speaking in my background? You just can't see it.
Yeah, I got a lot of ashy art in the background. Oh yeah, and I guess just for Fates, I used to play Nice. And she didn't talk, and she just kind of like stared a lot, and it was fun.
Perfect. And bouncing over to your streaming partner, Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark, and yeah, we have our own channel that Mike plays in on Sundays. It's called Mystical Mishaps.
Super fun.
And it's a good time with magic being broken, and very dramatic times right now. My goodness, it's gonna be a blast coming up here, possibly literally.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back with everyone, and I guess I played Zach from Fates, so that was my character.
I love how we went into intros of characters from the past.
Because you guys are like, I don't know who to intro right now. I used to play that character playing Garrick tonight.
Long ago.
There we
Yeah, I used to play Beery. Just do want to let you guys know.
2020.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
My first ever character was named Solace. My second character, no.
And that's the end of the
Back in
one shot, guys. We'll see you later.
My first ever character was named Subab in 2008.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's a
Actually,
great
I feel like
name,
there's a
Mo.
story
Thank
there that
you.
we're going to jump into
I was
another
really
time.
taking it seriously.
So, with that being said, please go follow our wonderful friends and everything they do. Like you heard, if you like to see any more of my playing, you'll see me on Marky Gaming, as well as you'll see Rachel, Mark, and myself, and Dealey, sorry, on Tuesday or Monday. Okay, that's weird. Monday nights on Revenant's Wake on literary_DM's YouTube channel. When we record on another night. Oh, surprise. Anyways, it's super fun there as well, which is kind of similar to, or well, I guess our old campaign is similar to this, but the Obajima world with, we used to play in a Zelda inspired world. So actually that leads us into why I'm going to introduce the setting here. I'm actually taking the Daggerheart one-shot learned adventure, which is built in the Sablewoods, which is like a foresty, druidic sort of setting, and merging it into the Obajima world because I feel like they play really well together. So that being said, are you guys ready? Hopefully you don't fear tonight's game. It's a little Daggerheart joke there, but we're gonna jump into the setting of Obajima. So Obajima is a world full of magic and spirits where people live and explore, and where there are festivals for every occasion. Although life here is mostly idyllic, with farmers tilling their fields and shepherds tending to their sheep dragons, that's a thing, there is plenty of adventure to be had. Travelers will find their fair share of it by simply walking from village to village, following rumors and spirit companions, and allowing the strange and wonderful tales of the tall grass to unfold. Within this world, magic is the mundane. It's a story of a world of wonder where innocence, laughter, and simple joys are just as important as discovering magic, unraveling intrigues, and exploring the mysteries of the land. For a lot of you to give you different visuals, this is a very Zelda and Ghibli inspired, using the wrong Roll20, that's a streaming thing, my bad. Ghibli inspired world that has the imagery of kind of both of that. So that wonderful mystical sense, but also a sense of modern take as well, as anything that you can dream and come up with could be a reality here. Roads that stroll off onto the back of a dragon that go up into the clouds could be an adventure of an afternoon that guides your character if that's the mystery that they kind of walk into that day. In this world, spirits are very normal. They are typically seen as companions. They are found all around Obajima and have lived side by side with people for as long as people can remember. But despite living here, they originate from a mystical plane that is all their own, the Spirit Realm. The Spirit Realm is a plane of eternal twilight that is overlaid on top of Obajima, occupying the same space, but existing and operating beyond the ken of most physical beings. What may appear to be an abandoned farmstead on the physical realm might be a bustling marketplace in the Spirit Realm. Most of you and the Obajimans know of the Spirit Realm, but few have traveled to it. There are, however, those on the island who know how to catch a glimpse of the Spirit Realm through potions or special magics. There are some who even know how to use their own powers to enter it. And kind of a link between, think ethereal realm / Feywild, if you're thinking about the D&D. As well as with the spirits, there are no souls in the world of Obajima. There are no ghosts as we know them. Obajimans use the word ghost to refer to a spirit that never leaves the spirit realm, but occasionally can be sensed on the physical realm. So something unseen, but still present, as spirits are the ones that you can see and interact with, almost like a daily occurrence, really. Sorry, change the music there. And lastly, for the Obajima intro, and as we're going over, the spirits have somehow there are no other planes of existence other than the spirit realm of the physical realm that you know of. Certain extraplanar creatures types have been changed to the spirit creature type, yada yada yada. In Obajima, the fiend creature here, so when I'm losing my place already. There we go. Spirits, so sorry. There are also evil spirits in here as well. Spirits that have somehow became tainted by the corruption are forced in the demon transformation. This process can happen in a matter of days or weeks, depending on what has occurred in the world. But again, you guys don't really worry about that. The feeling of urgency and threats are far and few between, but you four have found yourself with the abilities, with a fuzzy memory of how you gain them, but you know you can protect and use that, your own abilities, to help the other companions of the island stay free from corruption. And in that sense, this bond between the four of you has formed as over, you know what, time doesn't really matter, over weeks, months, I don't know, maybe even years. It's like time is soup on this island. Sometimes it's all just about hanging out and finding the new mysteries. It doesn't really matter how long it's been, but you have all been together for different amounts of time, and you've realized that you can use your own abilities to see into the spirit realm and also help escort, help defend, and help make this island a better place. Now, before we jump in too far, like I said, this is going to be a learn to play, so let's go ahead and go over the mechanics of Daggerheart. I'll give you guys different visuals as we go through. Oh yeah, I meant to show you some of these. So these are some of the looks of the spirits that you'll see on this island that could be walking alongside of you as you go, giving you insights to some of the mysteries of the different locales of the different cities or the nature that goes through. Gods aren't really a thing here. They're elder spirits. So within the natural temples or the waterfalls or the forests are the protectors and the spirits of this island that have come from different places that are forgotten to time, as well as modern items that are strange and unique to your eyes. But to us playing this game, we do recognize a lot of these as modern items in our world that have forgotten their use and origin and have been taken over and used by the spirits and companions of this island, i.e. vending machines are not powered, but young wizards trying to make their place with new enchantments will put in different magic items for sale within these shops and vending items protected by spirits within the vending items themselves. So different things like that will be on the island as well. But as we jump over to the mechanics side of things, and I'm going to go a little quick tonight just because we don't have as much time, but we're going to go briefly over the basics of the character sheet and how we're going to play in the game. So bear with me here a little bit. First off, Daggerheart is a collaborative, narrative-focused role-playing game. That means we'll all be working together to tell a story using the mechanics of the game as our foundation. You'll each make your own choices for your character during the adventure, and I'll describe some of the rest of the world reacting around them. And again, I know it sounds a little basic. I'm actually reading this verbatim from the sheet, so I know you guys have played TTRPG cheeses, whatever. But I'm kind of reading it straight from the adventure because I like to show you guys exactly the resources that are given from different RPGs and stuff. So anyways, so I'll describe the rest of the world as it reacts to you. Sometimes I might ask you a question, what your character knows about a place, what is you've heard as a person, maybe a memory that you've occurred in the past that helps describe your character's thoughts in that moment. I'll do my best to integrate your answers into the story we're telling, so we're building this world together. So looking at the character sheet, you'll find, so not here on my stream, but if you print out any of the pre-gen characters, you'll see a sidecar with like a cheat sheet, kind of goes over the different mechanics of the sheet. So kind of quickly going through it, up at the top, you'll see what your class is. A class is made of 2 domains. So for instance, the ranger is made of the bone and sage domain. All that really means for you kind of starting off is that you'll be taking skills from different domains and choosing from those 2 domains, and that makes up your class. So a bone might have 2 abilities you'll choose when you're creating the character, and sage might have 2, and you kind of combine that together. These pre-gens have already created those, so you'll see in your class feature, like Ranger's Focus down here has its own feature already going for that. In the box next down, you'll see evasion and armor. Evasion has a base that's set to it, and is also set by the armor that you put on as well. But essentially it's your AC, talking in D&D terms. If I roll to hit and I roll 13 or more, you get hit. Pretty simple. Now the armor goes along with your hit points. So let's say I do hit you. It's above 13 for evasion. I hit your character. There are thresholds you'll see in the damage and health right below. So a minor damage in this example will be 1 to 6 points. 7 to 14 is major damage. So you take 2 hit points instead of 1 hit. And then anything above 14, you'd take 3 hit points. As you can see, like for mine, I have 6 hit point slots that I can take before I go down. Once per turn, unless you have an ability that says otherwise that you can do more, you can decide to mark one of your armor slots to reduce the damage you take by 1 severity. So let's say I hit you for 13 points. That's major damage. If you take it, you're taking 2 hit points. You know what? I got 3 armor. I'm going to take one of my armor slots and make that down to 2. And that's going to reduce my damage from major to minor. So I only take 1. Or let's say the damage is only 5. You take no damage whatsoever.
Is it this little thing right here?
Yep, so that's your armor. Yep, you have 3.
Okay.
And then your damage threshold is the numbers below that.
But like if I want to sacrifice an armor thing, I mark these off. Okay.
Yep, but you only have 3 of them until you repair them or fix them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Even though it has 12 boxes there, 12 shields there.
Yeah, I get what you're saying now. Okay.
Yep. So regarding based on your class and how it's kind of built, you can have lower evasions, more armor, or vice versa, where you have higher evasion but less armor slots to take. Some classes like to take the hit points and then heal them as they go, like my warlock, which is pretty cool. And then you have something called stress as well, which is a different way of taking damage. It's more mental damage. Or sometimes you can take a stress to do another ability as well. They'll be kind of in your ability slots and stuff like that. Or if, let's say, I use a fear motion or a GM move, essentially. Let's say someone's creeping in the woods and you fail a presence check or some sort of skill check. I could say, oh, you take some stress because you freaked out about the noise in the forest, and it rattles your character for a second. So once you fill up all of your stresses, the next time you take a stress, you take a hit point. So that's kind of where it builds up over time. Once you take your last hit point out, you're then down. We'll talk about death moves later, or if they happen, they're pretty kind of cool in how they interact with this one, but we don't have to go over that right now. The next thing down below, and stop me if you have any questions as we're going along. Otherwise, we'll definitely be able to repeat it during the game as we go forward. The next thing is your hope mechanics. So you can gain up to, I think right now 6 is for everybody. And you can go ahead and give yourself 2 hope because you're going to start the game with 2 hope. This is a mechanic that you can use, or if you want to gather 6 dice or gems, a lot of people, that's what they say in Daggerheart to use. This is something you have different abilities to use throughout the game and by spending a hope. Another way you can do is anytime another character is doing an attack or a skill check, you can burn one of your hope to give them advantage. Which advantage in this game is just adding a d6 to the roll. It's pretty cool, and we'll go over that if that happens again. Or sometimes you have your own abilities, like for example, my ranger here has hold them off, spend 3 hope. When you succeed on an attack with a weapon, to use that same roll against 2 additional adversaries within range of the same attack. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty much it on that. Any questions for the hope for the moment? Cool.
I think I just have to see that one played out, honestly.
Again, I'm kind of going over just quick examples so I can show everyone the sheet and stuff like that and kind of give you an overview, but we'll definitely go into it, and the game kind of lends itself to that. Now the next thing down is a really cool thing that if we had some more time, or you guys are making your own characters, I'd actually probably have you guys create this itself. But during the character creation, one of the things you do is you come up with experiences. So these are things that represent your character, or a phrase, or maybe I'm a bodyguard, or, you know, my ranger has deadly aim, or, you know, my Mithridon character protects, you know, everyone at any cost. You get to choose what this is. It's something that gives flavor to your character, but it's something that at any point, if you feel like it matches the situation, so nature's friend, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna, you know, try and track these, go through the forest and do tracking. I'm nature's friend, so I'd like to add this. I'm going to spend a hope to add a +2 to my own roll. That's how you can aid yourself in a roll versus an ally. But someone can stack on top of that. So let's say I add a +2 to mine. Dealey over there can say, I'm going to burn a hope to give him advantage too. So I'm helping myself to give a +2, and she's giving me a D6 as well. So you have kind of two different ways to help each other overcome different rolls. You can also use that on attacks as well, or ability checks, or anything like that. Pretty much anything that you feel like it would apply to. So it's kind of cool. During creation, you can kind of make that up on your own. So like I was thinking earlier, like Karis could be like daemons. Anything demon related could be something that she'd use as an experience. Running down the sheet super quick. Gold, it's not going to come up too much in this game, really much. You guys can cross off one handful of gold. They don't really use numbers in this game. It's you're given handfuls of gold, and 10 handfuls of gold gives you a bag, and 10 bags give you a chest. And then so you kind of buy items based off of how many handfuls of gold you would need to buy it, essentially. Kind of like an old system where you're using different tiers to like 1 or second tier, third tier to buy something. You do have a class feature. Every class does have one feature that over time as you level up will boost in effect, but this is kind of what it starts off with. So you guys have different ones for your characters as well. You can use them at any time as long as it says it, or it doesn't need to be. Typically these don't need to be reset over like short rests or anything like that. But if you have any questions on those, we can go over what they are. I have all of your regens up here as well. Coming back up to the top of the page and sliding over, obviously you have where you can put your character's name and information, but right below this is basically it's essentially the same as your D&D stats, except instead of rolling for a modifier and a number, it's just purely simple at character creation. You pick a 0, a 0, a 1, a 1, a -1, and a +2. And then over time, as you level up, you can choose to level these up to a maximum of 5. So these are going to be your modifiers. I might ask, like you'll see below on the ranger, my short bow uses an agility roll. So I'm going to use the +2 agility to roll my 2d12, which we'll go over in a second. That's the modifier you're adding to it. If I think, oh, deadly aim, maybe I'll burn a hope and add a +2 and make that a +4 instead. So you can kind of like manipulate that a little bit if you wish. Any spell casting or any weapon is linked to some sort of ability. There's only physical or magical damage, so it's kind of simple. You don't really have to worry about bludgeoning or different types of damage on that aspect. And then your skills are kind of based off that, just like D&D. So agility is going to be your sprint, leaping, maneuvering. Strengths, your lifting, your smashing, your grapples. It's pretty straightforward as far as these, or if we have to come up with one. Maybe, you know, you can convince me of which stat you think would be appropriate in the moment, right? It's more collaborative. Going down, just like D&D, you do have 1 or 2 handed weapons. So they kind of have these little hands that kind of say, like, you know, you can only, if you're carrying a 2-handed weapon, you can't have a secondary, like a shield or something like that. It's very, very similar. Right now you have your weapons already chosen out, but when you're creating them, you have tier levels of weapons and armor that you can choose from. So like right now you can only choose from tier 1 weapons. As you level up, you'll be able to choose from greater and harder hitting weapons, which is pretty cool. The other thing too is pretty cool is that to keep everyone pretty balanced, you're going to be rolling based off of your proficiency. So right now everyone's level 1, you have 1 level proficiency. So for example, my short bow is a d6 plus 3 physical. So at level 1, I'm rolling a 1d6. At level 2, my proficiency might go up to 2 proficiency, which means I'm rolling 2d6 plus 3. And over time, that goes up to, I think, a maximum of 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 6. So at level 10, which is the max right now, I'd be rolling 66 plus 3 on my shot. So everyone kind of balances up together in a way, which is kind of neat. So spellcasting and martials, for the most part, usually keep together. Again, I haven't gotten up to high level Daggerheart quite yet, but I did see it on the live show with Critical Role the other day, and it seemed like it stayed pretty balanced. So same thing with your armor. Your armor is just going to dictate what your thresholds are. And then you add, I think it's like 2 or 3. It's in the guidelines of character creation. We don't need to go over that since you're doing pre-gens. But essentially, your armor is what dictates. Your class will already have like a base that it's using, and your armor helps set that as well. So those combined is what gives you the, for example, Ranger has 13 evasion, 3 armor, and the 7 and 14 thresholds. Same thing with your character, it's going to be doing the same. On top of that, you'll see in your inventory, you'll either be starting with a minor stamina potion, which you get to clear 1d4 stress, or a health potion, clear 1d4 hit points. It's up to you if you want to switch that around, but whatever you choose in the game is what you're using in the game. So you get to at least come into the game with one of those. Any questions over the character sheet before we go into the next part of mechanics?
The only thing is more about mine specifically.
Sure.
Because it's, this is the experience section.
Yeah.
I have like 2 things, but it doesn't say like what they are. Like it doesn't have a definition for, mine says Royal Mage and not on my watch. So like, I don't know what those mean. Do I make it up?
Yeah, you make them up. So
they just named it, and now I'm like, okay, this is what this means.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So these characters kind of were the pre-gen, so they kind of just created that. So your character technically works as a Royal Mage. So if you think that your intelligence or your stature as being part of the Royal Mage would help you in a moment, maybe you have intimidation or persuasion, or your intelligence for Arcana or something. However you feel it, that would apply.
Sure.
Maybe it's in a moment of combat. You're like, well, I would be much more, ready for combat than a normal civilian. I'm going to add this to that. However you feel it would work is how you get to apply it.
Another example I could think of is like Royal Mage. You'd be like, well, I'm used to dealing with royalty, so I can give myself +2 to any conversation I have with anybody who's got any kind of level of
like nobility or something. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it is confusing too, because when you like write your own, you also have to remember it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, right. And there's like no proper room to really write it.
I think the experience was the thing that took me a few moments to like really start understanding a little bit.
Yeah.
I will have to say go ahead.
Oh, it's just one of those things that I don't know, it's cool, but it also is like a little intimidating because you're just like, well, I don't know what to put. Like, can I put best cookie baker? Is that okay?
Sure. That's pocket cookies could be your thing. So maybe anytime you go to interact with someone and want to be kind to them or empathetic, and you think, oh, I'm giving them a pocket cookie, I'd like to get close to them, or I take my pocket cookies and throw them in the face and distract them during this attack. Sure, it's up to you to convince me that it works in the situation. It's it's what gives you that creative outlet to give flavor and experience to your character. So they go a lot in depth, a little bit more in the character creation point, and I think it'll make a little bit more sense once we get into the game. But it's a really, really cool mechanic that I've actually come to really love. Mithranon's got bodyguard, right? So at any point someone else is going to get attacked, I'm like, no way, I'm going in and I'm going to like be their shield. So if I go in and try and like put myself in front of them, I'm using that, right? Or I forget what his second one was, but it's something about being a coward. So it's like, like just don't run away or something like that. Like, you can have super fun stuff with that. But I will say that's probably the hardest thing to get your head wrapped around. The second thing, which we'll go over a little later, is initiative. There's not really an initiative order, but we'll get to that when we get to that point.
Do you have a question?
Yes,
about one
of course.
Of the ability terms. It says either a success or a critical success. What is the difference?
We shall jump right into that here next, actually, and answer your question.
Wow,
So,
how did he know?
Transition.
Like he's a DM or something.
Oh
Crazy.
my gosh.
So, let me go back to my little script here so I don't miss anything. Because they do a really good job of actually just explaining everything. Oh my gosh, they have all the pre-gens. I went up to go look at your sheet, Rachel, and I was like, okay. So, usually in your character sheet. Now let's go over action rolls and rolling the dice. So now that we looked at our character sheet, I'll give you the basics and we'll learn what we gotta yada. First, grab your 2d12 dice called your duality dice. So instead of a d20, you're gonna roll with 2d12. Make sure one represents hope and the other represents fear. I personally make the lighter one hope and a darker color fear. However you want to do it, as long as you can make them apart from each other, is perfectly fine. So whenever you have your character do something in the story that is dangerous or could result in consequences, or go beyond their normal limits, I'll probably ask you to make an action roll. You'll roll both of these d12 dice and add the applicable character trait to the result. I.e., like I said before, it could be agility, you could add your experience to it, maybe someone gives you advantage. Ultimately, you'd be adding all that all up and then rolling the 2d12. I'll usually tell you what trait it is. Sometimes I might ask you if you want to. You may use some of the tokens you have to represent your modifier for a roll. I'm not even going to go into that, but they want you to use like gems or tokens to represent the modifier to help you count them visually. So if you struggle to think about what the modifiers are in D&D and things like that, that's a way to do it. So let's say you're making an agility roll and you have a +2 in that trait. You'll take 2 tokens in your hand, roll them along with your dice, yada yada. You count everything up and tell me the result along with which die rolled higher. For example, if you rolled a 6 on the hope die and a 10 on the fear die, that'd be 16 plus 2 for agility, bringing it to a total of 18. But because the fear die rolled higher, you tell me you got an 18 with fear. If you roll with hope, you get to roll a hope on your own sheet. If you roll with fear, I as the GM get to give myself a fear and can make a GM move. This means I get to impact the flow of narrative or combat, usually to add some sort of complication to the scene. I start the game with a number of fear equal to the number of players. So I get to start with 4 fear, whereas you guys get to start the game with 2 hope. So the big thing is, remember, anytime you roll with hope, unless it's a reaction, but any action or attack roll, you get to add hope. Anytime you roll with fear, I get to take the fear, unless you have an ability that says otherwise. Like I said before, sometimes you have an experience. So if you have something like Expert Climber and you're trying to scale a wall, or Eagle Eye and you're trying to spot tracks in the dirt, you can spend a hope before the roll to describe how that experience helps you and add to the value to your roll. So that would have been an 18, use, deadly aim, it would have been a 20 instead, right? Same thing with spellcast rolls. Those are action rolls using your spellcast trait, which will be on your subclass's foundation card if you're a spellcaster. For example, Marlowe's spellcast trait is Instinct. So that's how you would cast a spell, Rachel.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. Essentially
with this, if you get a success with hope, that means you accomplish your goal and everything goes well. We're going to continue the narrative with a success, and you guys kind of still push the narrative. A success with fear means you still accomplish it. However, there's some sort of complication or consequence. So I get to jump in if I want to spend a fear and what's called a GM move. It means I'll change the story in some way. Maybe you have to mark a stress. Adversaries might attack. The environment might change, or you might only get part of what you wanted. We always try and still push the narrative forward because you got a success. If you roll a failure with hope, you don't get quite what you wanted, but they're not that bad. We'll still find a way to kind of push the narrative forward with consequence. And then a failure with fear, well, that's when situations go very badly. We'll raise the stakes somehow and highlight the consequences. And then the other side part, which answers Mark's question, is what is a critical roll? So there's no d20 in this one. And it's not necessarily just 12s that are criticals. Anytime you roll the same number on both the hope and the fear die, it's considered a critical roll. Which, if you're familiar with brutal criticals in D&D, which is a variant roll, it's similar to that. So anytime you roll a critical, and so let's say you roll 2 5s or 2 1s or 2 12s, you're critically successful on that maneuver attack. So let's say it's an attack, you get the maximum amount of damage on the dice, and then you get to roll the dice one more time. So my short bow I have 1d6 plus 3, so I'd get 6 plus 3 physical damage, so that's 9. And then I get to roll a d6 and add that to that as well. So you're always going to get more damage than typically than if you're just rolling, which is kind of nice. Which is kind of crazy when you're getting pretty higher up. Yep. Now, combat. Trying to think if there's anything here that I can explain before we just jump into the game. Combat doesn't really have an initiative. We will roll an initiative to see like kind of who goes first, you guys or the GM. Or no. I think you guys, oh no, I can't remember that one. Why am I blanking out? I think you guys just goes first. Hold on. Yeah, you guys, sorry, I'm blanking out there. You guys, I was thinking about another game. You guys just get to start first as kind of the players. So you guys get what's called the spotlight. There's no real like set initiative. And this is the part that kind of what I think is the hardest obstacle in getting into Daggerheart is because you're used to being like, all right, this is your turn, this is my turn, this is the enemy, boom, like the mechanics work in order. Here, because there's no real initiative order, it's kind of hard to know, well, how much can I do and how much should I kind of like not do and wait. So there's this weird amorphous feel at first. I've found in every single situation I've been in with Daggerheart, it just kind of naturally plays itself out. So let's say we go into it and one of you feel like in this moment narratively it makes sense that my character would go first, right? Maybe you were ambushed first or reacted to something, or you have an ability that buffs something first. The rule of thumb is that you can do any amount of actions or maneuvers that don't require a roll. So let's say you're activating something like I'm activating a power. As long as it doesn't take a roll, it's a free movement. If you're moving within your own movement range, which is 30 feet, just like D&D, which is what's considered a close range, that's a free action. If you're taking a potion, that's a free action, things like that. If you're trying to move beyond 30 feet, you would have to make an agility roll to move further. And I'll go over the movements here in 1 second. Or let's say you go for an attack. If you roll with hope, you guys as the players get to keep the spotlight. If you roll with fear, even if you succeed, I as a GM get to jump in, use a fear, and make a move for my enemies. So that's kind of how we go back and forth, is when you roll with fear, I get to jump in and do something. And kind of, I can keep spending fear to kind of like to keep it on my side until I'm ready to hand the spotlight back to you. And it's kind of how initiative rolls. And then what I've done, at least for myself, because technically, Rachel, you could go 3 times in a row if you technically wanted to. The way I've seen it work and how I like to do it, at least for my character and at the tables we've been at, usually only have 1 attack or 1 spell before you hand it off to someone else. It's kind of the like common themes, like still like kind of answering that initiative, right? Making sure everyone gets a chance to do something before you do a second thing. Unless you have like a reason that would make sense, right? Like, hey guys, if I get these 2 actions off, I can make this person vulnerable, or I can do something special, and that will set up your character. You guys at the table get to have that crosstalk and figure that out as a team, because the idea is that it's collaborative and you guys would know each other's abilities. So it's going to be a little hard in the one shot, but typically you would know what each other can do. So it's like, oh, cool. Marlo's going to hit them first with this spell. That means Castella can come in and hit them harder second. So let's do that combo. So it's really up to you guys to decide who wants to go first, and I'll make sure, let's say before John goes twice, hey, you know what, Dealey hasn't gone yet, let's see, Dealey, what would you like to do first, you know, that kind of thing, just to make sure, you know, everyone gets the spotlight, which I trust you guys if you guys are going to do that. One last thing as well to throw in, there is another maneuver you can do, which is called tag team or tag roll. So if you have 3 hope, you can spend the 3 hope to do an attack with someone, which is really cool because you can do a lot of flavor. Think like Avengers, right? I throw the hammer off Captain America's shield and it hits someone and we hit with lightning and it's crazy. So Marlo, let's say you want to do an attack with Garrick, right? You spend 3 hope, you both get to roll, and then it's like taking advantage. Whoever has the better roll, you get to choose which roll to take. So let's say, Rachel, you rolled with fear and didn't quite make it, but Mark rolled with success and a hope. You could choose that one. And then that means you both hit and you combine your damage together on a hit. And then let's say you rolled with hope, you both get hope. So it's kind of cool. It allows you to do 2 things with 1 action, and kind of have some fun with the flavoring of it. And that's pretty much combat. Again, it's kind of easier to show than tell. So I think that's just kind of the basics of it. And do you guys have any other quick questions before I think we jump into the actual game? It's a lot that I just threw at you.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So we get into the weeds and see how they get cleared.
YOLO.
Perfect. I'm expecting many more questions, so please feel free to ask along the way. This was just the oversight, and also for everyone at home, I'm gonna put this up on YouTube. So if any of you guys want to learn Daggerheart as well, this will be your chance. So, I finished right after 8:45, which is exactly what I wanted to do. I'm quite proud of myself.
Good job.
All right. So, jumping into tonight's game, we talked a little bit about Obajima. You all are gathered on a coastal town after having variant travels together, where maybe you've undiscovered an old abandoned temple that had a spirit of the river that you guys were able to free from corruption, a vending machine that helped aid you to find potions that could cure a bush from needing to find a new home or something, or a sheepy that was sick and infernal and you guys healed. You guys have at least found some sort of bond with each other to be able to give back to this island, and which is what the feeling of this island gives to everybody. The sense of, it doesn't really matter where you came from, doesn't matter where you're going. This island's beautiful and it needs to be protected, and life's just good here. It feels nice, the weather's always great, except in those hidden spots, and sometimes you do stumble across those. However, today, I'll move the sheet again as we're in our opening town here. You are on the coastal town here of Mushroom Rock. As you can see, most of these towns and houses are created out of mushrooms and different types of wood, opening into a very welcoming and open sort of town frame that allows for travelers and merchants to come from the different sides, different boats that come in with fish and new enchantments, different schools of study here that you have found, and different many types of folks that find their way here, spirits and people alike. You all have been summoned by a friend of yours. Let me get to the page here. Nope, wrong one. Actually looking into the Sablewood one. All right. You've all been invited by Barnacle, who is your fellow royal guard, Marlowe. Someone that you all have gotten jobs from before and worked with at various times on a special job. It's very hush hush, and has asked you all to meet at the tavern, a local watering hole that you all are very familiar with for your first job. As you all walk in, you notice a Ribbit, a frog-like character, sitting in the corner with drinks and food waiting for you. And yes, everyone, I'm using the Chrono Trigger picture because I thought it was amazing instead of the actual one. But you hear, oh, hi guys. Sorry. Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Barnacle. Marlowe, you've noticed as you cringe a little bit that, yes, Barnacle's been taught how to speak a little bit more privy now that he's joined the Mage Guard, and Michael's been told whatsoever not to do that voice for the whole campaign or his players will quit. So Barnacle doesn't sound like this anymore, but is very, very well learned. Ruben?
We paid for some like vocal training for him.
Yes, it took a little while, but it was well worth it. But anyways, as he's sitting there, you can see some envelopes and invites. But one by one, you guys walk in. Why don't you each roll me a d12, and we'll see who walks in first.
2.
2.
1.
All right. No.
Mark's here, so I'm gonna roll
2.
low.
9.
All right.
To prove the point.
Mark, your character is quite on time, does not want to be late. Why don't you describe your character as they walk in and what Barnacle sees?
So Garrick is a human and kind of noble looking in stature, carrying a long sword, wearing some leather armor, and just standing tall and smiling as he enters in, kind of looks around. Really good to see you.
Over here. Hey, friend. I have seats over here. Where's everybody? They're are you
Probably late
alone?
as usual. Yeah.
Well, told everyone to hurry up, but that's fine. That's fine. I mean, royals should never be late. As the two of you try and jump through the frame at the same time and accidentally, bump each other and then try and go again. As the framework's not quite wide enough for the two of you, why don't you roll again to see who wins this little push between Rachel and John, who gets in the tavern next, as you both are jostling against each other.
I actually feel like the little lady looks a little too fancy for me to be bumping into her, if I'm going to be honest. So I'm going to tip my hat to her. Well, I don't have a hat. If I had one, I would. I'm going to tip my head to her, and I'm going to say, please, miss, you first.
And by the way, the characters, this art is just from the book. You guys are more than happy to flavor up your character however you want. Doesn't have to be directly with the imagery that you guys use here.
No, my hair has to constantly be like floating around me, like the picture.
Yeah, I decided
Really
to change it
cool.
to the sorcerer one. I thought that was really fun.
That was better, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go in first. I kind of walk in with this like air of authority. And, like I know what's going on. I find them pretty fast. She is probably average heights. She has brown hair that's like probably shoulder length. She's wearing like fancy royal like robe type things. I should like walk over to everybody.
Garrick, you kind of hear "Gulp" as she walks in, and he straightens himself. Hello, milady. It's a pleasure to make acquaintance again.
Hello, Barnacle. It's nice to see you. Looks like you've been holding things down here.
The lessons have been going great, and of course, everything's wonderful. Nothing's bad at all. Nothing's happening. Hey, Declan. John, why don't you introduce your character as they walk in behind Marlo?
Declan steps in, follows behind Marlo, and he is a man who's wearing some leathers, not quite leather armor, just like travel type of gear, leathers. You can tell they're worn, but you can tell that he's also done what he can to take care of them. All the way from his top all the way down to his boots. His boots definitely are worn, but they're definitely well taken care of. He's got a lightly tanned olive skin complexion to him with some emerald green eyes. He stands a little bit over 6 feet, and he's got very broad shouldered, so he kind of probably casts a little bit of a shadow behind Marlo as he's walking in. On his shoulder, he kind of has the hilt of his blade, kind of his arm resting on it with a big, large greatsword kind of protruding behind him in its sheath as he kind of just comfortably walks with it into the area. It's good to see you again.
Oh, so cool. Yes, Declan, it's very good to see you as well, my friend. I believe we're missing one more. Did they wake up a little late today? I'm guessing. And as you see running in, Dealey, your character, who I'm guessing based on your other characters we play together, probably missed their alarm and is running up to catch the group.
I have chronic sleep fatigue in games and in real life. Yeah, they're I don't know. I'm lacking descriptions. I didn't draw there's the picture right there. Right there.
Perfect.
And she also has little like little tiny horns like you'd see on like a little like goat or sheep. There's like, cause she's a fawn, and hoofed legs technically. She's wearing pretty nice stuff, purples, like a deep like teal blue gemstone kind of color, pops against her skin. There's like a glittery gold freckle effect because I can't get away from the freckles because they're just fun. And yeah, she has a pack on and she looks like she's ready. I'm here. I'm sorry. There was some traffic in the form of a line of school children getting in my way, so I had to wait for them to cross. And then a line of ducks. And then a cabbage cart that I almost ran into. But I'm here now.
I did see the sheepies go by as well, so I'm sure that slowed down the cart, of course.
I remember I had to actually help lift that cabbage cart up earlier.
Barnacle jumps off his chair, which is like actually a high stool, so it seemed like on par with everyone else. But it's about like a third of your height as he walks over and grabs her hand and does a quick little kiss to him. He goes, of course, we're always fawning over you as you join us. Gives a look at Marlo before he sits down again.
She just raises her eyebrows.
Anyways, well, thank you that you're all here. Obviously, I am Barnacle, if you don't know. Now you know. The right-hand guard of King Emerus. Marlo, you recognize him as your King Emerus's royal mage, and have worked with him and have gotten quite a few different jobs with this group as well recently. He's asked me to gather her most trusted allies to carry an important package to Hush, a small village within the ancient forest of Sablewood. The crate is large, heavy, and sealed with magic, addressed to Whitefire Arcanist, and he points to this chest that's sitting there on the ground. You've been given a map and a carriage and the promise of reward upon your arrival. I'll be going with you to make sure, well, he just kind of looks over the four of you, that you don't open it. I know you four. Just saying.
I ain't opening it.
Marlo just looks offended.
Well, I mean, if you open it for us, we can still look.
How dare! His like face goes from green to white. I would never go across King Emerus's Queen Emerus? Actually, I just realized. I guess they call it King.
Be
Still.
whatever you want to be.
Sure, it doesn't matter to me. I just like looking at the script there. Anyways, yeah. How dare! I would never look inside. I mean, this is by trusted orders. What? Maybe it explodes. Maybe this is a test for a greater reward to come.
How do you know it's not even there?
Doesn't matter. That's what the king said.
I get paid either way.
Not that I'm kind of curious, and kind of like nudges it a little bit. And here,
No, don't be curious.
Yeah, of course. We're never
It's
curious. Yes, it's a job.
No.
Yes. Perfect. Well, if you all are ready, I have a carriage waiting. Unless there's anything else you wish to address or speak to.
No,
Exploding sounds dangerous.
Of course.
This is somebody who might explode on there when we get to them.
I mean, if that's what the king wanted.
Hmm.
I'm sure it'll all be good for good. The king is the greatest warrior and defender of the people in Obajima. You know that,
as long
Garrick.
as it's not going to backfire and take all of us out, I'm fine.
Can't promise that. You know me, I never give a guarantee. even if it's 90%. That's a Michael
Well,
phrase right
what
there.
I'm more.
You just guarantee the funds?
Got a couple handfuls right here.
That's something. I'll take it.
What I'm more concerned with is if he's wanting 5 of us to escort this, he's anticipating danger of some sort.
Well, I mean, we all know the Sablewood can be quite dangerous once you get into the heart of it, especially right before Hush. But I'm sure we'll be fine. We've done this plenty of times before with no issue.
Right. Just need
I mean,
to be on the
remember that
lookout.
one time we just brought the fishing bowl? Huh.
It's been a hot minute.
It's quite simple. I mean,
It's a good time.
maybe this is just, I don't know, mac and cheese noodles.
What's
Yes,
that?
it could be.
You haven't had mac and cheese? Well, let me show you the vending machine.
That's
Which-
the
Much
one
more
with,
the
like,
royal
little bands
vending
in the
machine,
arm holes.
honestly. Yeah.
The-
I mean, you'd be surprised, Marlo. I mean, if you came off your high horse sometimes, some of these up-and-coming arcanists put some fun stuff in these vending machines. There's one.
No,
Yes?
I'm saying the mac and cheese, I think, is in the royal vending machines. That's why he's never had it.
Oh, of course. Well, that's the white cheese mac and cheese. It's more Velveeta levels, of course. But there's a vending machine out there if any of you feel like you need to pick up any supplies or have some fun with potions or magic items there. You do have some extra coinage.
I wouldn't mind grabbing a thing or two.
Certainly. He'll lead you out to the carriage, and there is what you saw earlier, a vending machine with a cat sitting on top, just a little brown tabby cat. Busted glass and everything. It's almost like you could just reach in and grab something if you wished. But there's definitely prices still on there, and a bit of a bowl that sticks out instead of like where you'd normally put maybe money or coinage. There's a bowl that sits where you drop the gold in. And there's different like posts on the side for adventures and arcanist, blood mage over on the west side looking for new students or things like that. But you can see there's various items in here. If you wish to give me a instinct roll?
Not perception.
Instinct. Perceive.
Then you roll 2.
So you roll 2d12.
Okay.
Unless you wish to add anything to it, or if someone wants to give them advantage, which you don't need to spend hope on this one.
Terrible roll. It was a 5, but it was a 5 with hope.
Perfect. So you get to grab a hope and put it on your sheet. But let me. You rolled a 5, right?
Yes.
Wait, so we gain hope?
Every time you roll with hope, you gain a hope. Whoever rolled it.
Just he does.
Yes.
Yeah. Not you.
So if right. But like for him rolling that, he just spent a hope to roll and then
No.
got it back.
No, I didn't have to spend a hope. I could have spent a hope if I had something to assist in the roll. Like if I had something and I was like, I have this thing that helps me look at vending machines. I don't know, an experience, right? I could have spent a hope to add to it.
Or you could spend a hope to give them an advantage die to add to it. But rolling is totally free. So are you looking for the magic item side or the potion side?
Potions.
Potions, all right. Well, you rolled a 5. You put in a handful of gold and what kind of it kind of rolls down this intricate little like plunko sort of looking thing. A sort of elegant looking pitcher almost. It looks like a set of armor, like the headset of an armor piece, which is like the top of the pitcher, and then clear glass around the bulbous side of it. But it has this pinkish potion inside. So this is the fun part because I gotta convert 5e to something in Daggerheart. Okay.
Always a fun process.
Yeah, it's always a fun process. As you grab it, there's a little tag on it, and it says this is spirit armor. That when poured on a creature that isn't wearing armor, or I'll say isn't holding a shield, so something that's like adding armor, this potion covers the target with magical force. Until the next time the target is hit, the target has an extra +2 to their evasion. This ends after the first hit that hits them. It's actually like an ability I think the Warlock has or something. So, does anybody else wish to use the vending machine?
I'm gonna run inside real quick to get something as well. I'll be right out.
I'll give it a try too.
Sure. Are you going for the magic item or potion side?
So these are run by spirits, right? Is what you said?
They are.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to one of them and kind of peruse the two. And I'll look at the magic item one just out of curiosity. And then just walk up to it. Hey, Mr. Spirit of the vending machine. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're having a good time. Hope business is well.
You see the cat on top wake up a little bit. Goes, why do you disturb my sleep?
Oh, just trying to be friendly here. And I'm just curious if there's anything maybe I could help you out with by removing from your stock if it's like not selling, so you can make room for something else. And I would like to use my experience of affable to try and convince it to maybe, you know, stock that isn't very useful to just kind of free up some space, you know, for future stock of more profitable items.
You risk yourself at dire needs against His Highness, but go ahead and you can try and convince me. Roll a duality. I'll say for this one, unless you wish to say convince me otherwise for a different ability, I'll say presence.
Presents.
Okay. So with the experience though, I have affable, so I can spend a hope to do a +2 to that.
Correct. And if anyone wants to give him advantage, you can spend a hope as well. It's up to you.
I will.
I'll give. Well, wait. Do I have to? You said I have to use a hope to do that.
So you do have to spend a hope to give him a
I don't have
D6 if
one
you
then.
wish.
So never mind. I can't do it.
Well, everyone started the game with 2.
Oh, I did not hear that.
You do have hope, Rach.
Oh, they do.
Wow.
It's not your
I'll
only
do it
hope.
too.
You have two.
I want to help. Because I have like all my like royal mage like attire type of thing. So I'm like kind of standing in the background and I just kind of nod. And I have a little like +2 like thing to it.
So the +2 is for yourself, but you can use your royalty sort of garb and status to help give him advantage.
Oh,
is what you're
perfect.
doing.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
I get a D6 in this roll.
Yes, you get a D6 to add to the roll as the Highness looks over to you and goes, ha, if you think your royalty is better than mine, hiss, I say, hiss. You know which cat this is.
All right.
What did you roll?
Double 8s.
Oh, a critical roll.
And a 3 on the D6.
And a 3. Okay, so
it's 19 total.
yeah, 19 with a crit. Awesome. So are you just using your words? How exactly are you trying to be affable to convince this spirit to give over the important divulging information?
I mean, I'm just trying to be helpful with. I mean, if there's some stock that's just not selling, just been sitting here gathering dust, just remove it from the stock and help you out. I mean, I'll take it off your hands and you can put something in there that's much more useful to you. Something that will sell higher. I mean, you can even put like a higher price if it's a good seller.
The cat begins to like walk down the different like plunko steps and like weird precision on how to like stay up on this and goes right into your face. I do need a good ear scratch.
Oh, of course.
All right. Well, affable it is. You rolled a, what was it, 19?
Okay, so rolled the 19, but I have a -1, but I get a +2, so it'd be a 20 total, I think then.
Okay. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Oh, you said things that aren't selling? Is that right?
Just yeah, whatever. Like
Perfect. Okay.
take up hand. Whatever's friendly to give away. You know, trying to make friends.
The cat's looking. Well, if you two want to help the blood mage, this poor thing hasn't sold it all, and kind of walks over and gently just knocks off the bench, just like with a paw, a chicken timer.
Chicken timer, perfect.
Chicken timer. I don't even need to convert this for you. As an action, the chicken timer can be set to 11 minutes and 14 seconds. When the timer begins to count down, the TV starts to show a fuzzy video of a 10-foot radius sphere centered on the chicken timer. Once the chicken timer goes off, a TV that you like appears below it turns off again and disappears. Once the timer has been used in this way, it can't be used again till the next dawn.
Wonderful.
You can kind of see why no one bought it. But
Sure, it could be useful.
apparently the mage had tea that was made in exactly 11 minutes and 14 seconds. So he made this.
Very kind of you. Thank you.
Thank you for your patronage. And just kind of walks back up and settles down. Anybody else?
Is there any other cool magic items just in general?
Give me
buy
a
it.
perception check. A instinct check.
Instinct. Wait, where is it? Oh, it's just okay. Okay. I got. You combine them?
Yes. And then B, just tell me which one, like if you rolled, whichever
Is
one is
it fear or
higher.
hope?
Yep.
Okay, I got higher on fear.
Okay. So I'll take another fear.
But I got 8 total.
8 total. Okay. As you're looking over, you kind of notice the spirit just seems a little bit more ruffled with your like stiffness compared to the empathy and the affability of Garrett, because I say hiss and just turns its back to you.
Okay.
But you find, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's actually pretty cool. You see a boomerang that on the edge of one, it kind of forms the shape of a cloud and almost like has wisps of cloud that come off of it. And if you wish to purchase it, that'd be a handful of gold. It's called the Cloud Touch Boomerang.
That's fun.
And you
Sure.
you purchase it? Perfect.
Yeah.
It kind of clanks down, and then as it zooms out of the vending machine, it kind of goes right past your head, and then and you're able to catch it on its return boomerang. But with this, as you grab it, you're kind of instinctually hit with what it does as you read the Cloud Touch Boomerang. You can activate this boomerang swirling vortex whenever you attack with it. I'm gonna say for this one, for Daggerheart, you can use it once per dawn, and on a hit, the target must succeed on a strength saving throw or fall prone.
Okay.
What kind of weapon do you have? You have a scepter, right?
I have a dual staff.
Dual staff. Okay. Also, you can switch it out if you wanted to attack with this and do the same sort of damage. It'd just be physical instead of magical.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then it just has that feature you said once, but I could use it still
Correct.
whenever. Okay.
Yeah. It would just be a normal boomerang at that point.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, a lot of stuff in Daggerheart kind of has like one usage, or like it's not super like continuous use. So it's something I have to like keep in mind when I'm like converting things real quick. Because unfortunately, Obajima is 5e, but Daggerheart's got this cool like homebrew kit to it. There's certain like guidelines that help make like 5e to Daggerheart pretty easy, which is kind of cool. But all right, Barnacle's kind of sitting at the carriage. And anything else everyone wants to get before we move on?
Can I just get a potion?
Sure. I mean, yes. What? Go ahead and roll me a instinct check to see what you pick out.
Do I have to roll both dice?
Yep.
Yeah, so you roll.
Oh.
Or if you use your character sheet, you can just click on instinct.
I use the D12s, right?
Yep, 2d12.
Okay, it's 11 on the hope and 6 on the fear.
Perfect. So you rolled 17. What's your instinct modifier?
I don't know. -1.
-1. So it'd be a 16 total, rolling with hope. So you get to add a hope to your character sheet, which, Rachel, you rolled with fear, right? I think.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Just make sure. Perfect. So 17. Potions. Let's see what you got here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, these are actually numbered, which helps so much. Perfect. You kind of see this boom, 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 this potion drop. It seems really simple, kind of like a normal bulbous one with a spiral on it. But it's like covered in this green algae and mucus. Do you wish to grab it?
What?
There's like, it's covered with like this green mucus. Do you grab it?
I'm gonna stare at it for a second and then probably use like a handkerchief or something to grab it.
Sure. You see, kind of like as you like move it a little bit, there's a tag that's called heroism. But you'd have to pick it up to learn what it does.
I did pick it up with the handkerchief.
Yeah, you'd have to like so in this world, kind of like the physical touch is how you commune with the spirit realm. So because you're doing it with a handkerchief, you can pick it up just fine, not take any effects of it, but you realize you have no way of figuring out exactly what this does without attuning to it, sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Want me to touch it?
Then. No, I didn't know that's how the world worked.
Sure, now you do. That's a mystery of the world that you're uncovering.
Now I have to write notes down.
Do you end up touching it, or are you just still holding it in your handkerchief?
Yes, I touch it.
I'm just asking. As you do, your hands meld into this cold, mucusy liquid as you grab the actual potion. But quickly you realize this is actually a really nice potion, even though it's seeping over the sides. If you drink of it on the next attack, you gain advantage on your next attack roll within the next 24 hours.
Advantage?
Mm-hmm. So you need to add a d6 to your attack roll on the next one.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, if we're trying to get there by night, I do believe we should probably get going.
Declan comes running back out of the inn with a bowl of milk and sets it down by the cat.
Perfect.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna spend a fear, my man, as you come rolling around. Give me an agility roll. Agility saving throw, actually. So it'll be the same thing, except you just won't gain fear or hope on it.
It's an 8 with hope? Or 9. 9 with hope.
9 with hope. Okay. As you kind of come skating around kind of the corner, there's a little bit of like rubble and kind of slickness on.
Wait, can I use my advantage thing, or do I have to declare that?
So you have to declare it before, unfortunately.
Okay.
But your feet kind of come out from underneath you for a second. But because you rolled with hope, you're able to keep the bowl steady. But you scraped your knees like really badly, and that's definitely gonna sting for a while. Nothing too crazy. But you just see, good thing you didn't drop it, you buffoon. He kind of smiles and goes, thank you. And then just starts lapping up the milk. Ugh. Ugh. Is this cow milk? It's not spirit milk. Ugh. I'm gonna gain so many pounds from this.
Just the god.
Yeah. And then it starts getting a hairball. Anyways. I'm not gonna do that noise on my new mic anymore.
Thank you.
Anyways, I'm ready.
I've been testing out how much any of my monster sounds pick up on mic. I'm like, oh, much better now. Okay, cool. All right, so you guys end up getting in the carriage. Are you guys doing anything else before you leave?
I'll get in the carriage.
Yeah. I got
Perfect.
in the carriage.
All right. As you all begin traveling into the Sablewood, I'll give a brief little description of what this area looks like. That's not the one I was looking for. I really should have separated the regen characters from the rest of the material. Keep on going above and below it. Hold, please. As you're jogging along in the carriage, it's a bumpy ride, but it's quite fun. But as you continue to ride through, the Sablewood is a seemingly endless forest of dark trees that reach hundreds of feet towards the sky. Some say they've been here some time before the Forgotten Gods. It's famous for its unique hybrid animals, like the lemur toads and tiger elk, as well as well-worn trade routes populated by traveling merchants. The hybrid animals in this place range from completely docile to extremely vicious. A cat squirrel might come feed gently from your hand, while an alligator would launch itself out of the nearby river to snap at you as an easy meal. Within the Sablewood, there's a small, friendly village known as Hush. That is your destination during your quest. If you wish, if anyone would like to roll Marlo with advantage on this town to learn some things, you can.
A D6 is with advantage, you said?
A D6, yep, you add to it. This would be knowledge. So it'd be your 2d12s. Rachel, you can add a D6, but everyone else can roll as well.
Which roll are we doing? Knowledge?
Knowledge, yep.
18 with hope.
With hope, okay. Go and take a hope.
I had to re-roll. My dice was
13 with fear.
13 with fear. Thank you.
Ones.
The critical,
that's critical
technically.
Success.
Oh, how fun.
I'll give you some extra information, though you might not get the information I was looking for with this DC, but you get some fun stuff from it as well.
Get the random trivia facts.
You also, sorry, as I forgot as well, so this is Mark and Dealey. You can gain a hope from critical, and you can also mark a stress away if you do have a stress. So that's the addition of criticals.
From
yes.
The critical?
Sorry.
Okay.
Give yourself a hope.
Cool.
Okay. So you said the same number is a critical?
Yep. If you rolled the same number on both dice.
Okay. I rolled 2 11s.
Oof. Holy moly. You knew everything about Hush.
Oh.
So you can
I
add a
did my
hope.
research. Okay.
And you can wipe a stress, which I know you guys don't have stresses right now, but actually,
Okay.
John, you rolled fear earlier. Mark a stress is what I meant to tell you that earlier. When you
I rolled that one. Oh, this was a fear just now.
Was it hope with the oh, that's right, you failed, but with hope. Never mind. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. For reminding me. Yeah, so if it's something like you succeed but with fear, sometimes I can like add a stress to it. Like maybe you scraped your knees and you add a stress to it or something like that. Gotcha. Perfect. So Costella, you have heard of Hush, maybe not quite in the same prepared knowledge base as something like Marlo, who's learned about the traditions and some of the rumors and everything it needs to know about Hush. But Costella, let me tell you what, you know all the good food places in Hush. I mean, there's like some mushroom soup that's to die for. There's some pocket cookie bakeries that are like by far the best in town. You know all about it. So you kind of gained the sort of like the lowdown of the locals of kind of the best spots in town of this kind of druidic village. Marlo, what you know about Hush is that it's a druidic town centered around an old temple to what you guys call the Forgotten Gods. It would be in our realm possibly some sort of D&D god, or a temple to some sort of long forgotten religion. But now an elder spirit resides within it of the forest, a protector of the woods that keeps Hush safe to the dangers around it. Any travelers passing through this town, you realize that there's no inns. So you come prepared knowing that when you go there's not an inn to grab. You're an honored guest and you would be invited to stay in the home of a member of the community. But you also know, thanks to your critical role, that it's not really kind to stay in the same house more than 3 days. It's kinda like you're okay, you're overstepping your welcome now. And either you move on to another house or you move on if you're not going to stay in town and find your own permanent place. There's also a very protective feel of giving back to the lands here, so nothing is given to waste. They don't really like burn trees. They cut them down and reuse them, and they plant another one in its place, things like that. And you also know that there is a mage in Hush called the White Fire Arcanist, who's the leader of their primary elder spirit temple and maintains the magic of the wards that protect the village there. Perfect.
Okay. If it's cool, I would probably be like telling everyone this on the carriage ride over, like, here's the rundown, this is how it works, or whatever. So you guys all know the same info as me.
Perfect.
Okay.
So as you guys travel through the woods, this evening your party finally make it to the Sablewood, a sprawling forest of colossal trees that some say are even older than the Forgotten Gods. It's a place renowned for two things: its sunken pathways that provide the trade routes for many traveling merchants, and its unique hybrid animals. I know I've reread some of them. Even now, from within your carriage, you can hear strange sounds. The low calls of lark moths, the croak of lemur toads, Barnacle's mom? I'm just kidding. The skittering of a family of fox bats in the underbrush. One of you is driving the carriage. Who is it?
Who is it?
Someone's driving. Who's driving?
I guess I'll be driving.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, Declan, as you drive the carriage through, and the rest of you could be sitting alongside him or walking or sitting back in the carriage.
I promise to do my best to keep you all safe.
But Declan, you've noticed something unique about the look of the trees here in the Sablewood. What is it that stands these trees out to you? And this is where in Daggerheart, the GM kind of gives back to the players to make the story a collaborative storytelling. So it could be environmental, could be an experience you guys gone through, but allows you guys to help build the world as we go through it, instead of just relying on the GM. We kind of bounce off of each other. Think like Fates United, right? Like when we help build each other's cities and stuff like that. It's very similar.
The wood reminds me more of an old wood. When I say that, I mean it's one of those places you go into and seems to be a place that man was not meant to see. Seems to hold its own presence in a way that you don't find where civilization has expanded and burnt out. It's as though it lives. It's as though it lives and allows those who are in it to be there.
Perfect. As you're going through and you all see the age and the rings of these giant trees, it's not just the visible, but the spiritual that pulls at all of you. You all individually know that your memories are somewhat cloudy from what came before. But again, it doesn't really matter. You found each other. It's all about the journey that you're on now. But there's something about these woods that pull at something within you. A depth, a memory, a fog. I need everyone to give me a... even want to call it wisdom. An instinct saving throw. So just
Is it just the base stat?
Yeah, base stat plus your duality. Okay. If you wish, if you feel like an experience in this moment potentially might aid, you can try and add that to it. But and there will be no hope or fear gained or lost in these because it's a saving throw.
So 15, oh, okay. 15 with hope.
15 with hope. Perfect.
13 hope.
13 hope.
15 hope.
15 hope.
9 fear.
Perfect.
You smile at me.
Sorry, D.
The one person is probably the most worried about these kind of roles. That's okay. So I'm excited to see what we tell in the story together. Castella, as you're walking, all of you feel this pull to your spirit. But Castella, where are you standing in the cart or walking, or what are you doing at the moment?
Sitting having a time, I guess.
Are you sitting up with Declan? Are you sitting in the back of the cart facing backwards?
I'm probably... Usually I'm really good with theater of the mind. I had to be outside today, so
You're totally good.
Hold on, I'm doing a little sketch. It was Declan's... So I'm probably, like, up just behind, like, in the back of the cart, like, looking forward and kind of, like, looking around at all directions, I guess.
Perfect. As you do, this pull into the forest sort of grabs your attention. You find yourself zoning out and looking through the trees as your vision is pulled further and deeper in. And you could swear for a second, it's like this forest is inviting you in. And you have a flash of a memory. Something former. Something tragic. What does that memory look like to you when it occurs?
I don't know. If we weren't on stream, this would be so much easier.
It's so good. It's fine. What comes to mind?
Everyone plug your ears.
Turn away.
D can say it.
I believe in you. You got this.
I don't know. All I'm thinking of now is that I want more donuts, and that's making me sad. But that's not tragic enough for this place.
Maybe it had to do with donuts.
It's a sad missing of donuts.
Was my default is joke setting, everyone, just so you know.
You're fine. Give me something to just bounce the past to me, and I'll help. Do you want it to be about donuts? I'll take that and go with it.
No.
I have a good idea for you.
She was on her way to pick up... My mind is gonna go very dark with this.
Go.
She was on her way, and then she realized that the donut shop was closed, and she was really sad. But then she heard a bunch of whispers just around the corner, and she goes over, and there's like authority figures there and all these other people. And so she goes and inquires, and then she realizes that the sweet older lady who bakes all the donuts every morning is not doing well, and that maybe there was some like break-in or something and a skirmish. And then she got really sad, and the lady doesn't look like she's doing too hot right now. And then she has to go home and be empty-handed with donuts. But she was really hoping that she could have them, but now she just wants that lady to feel better.
Perfect. Wonderful. That's exactly what I wanted. As Costello, you are now walking in a town unlike anything you saw in Obajima. Beautiful, tall towers of crystal and swirling spirals of different make and model. As you are walking forward in a common area, one with cobblestone books of different styles and magic items, and a beautiful bakery that you common with different people from maybe the college, the Bard school that you were with. Unfortunately, you hear that something has happened, a break-in, as your feet now are echoing as you're saddened with the loss of not being able to bring home the baked goods that you wish to your family. But the authorities were never able to find who did this. As you were walking home in the dusk of night, before you could turn around, you could hear footsteps and suddenly a sharp pain within your ribs. And the last thing you feel is the coldness of the ground hit your cheek as everything goes dark. I need you to mark a stress as you suddenly come out of it. Now, fully back in the forest with a flash of this odd world and this painful experience that occurred. Wonderful job, Dealey. I thought you did fantastic. As you're distracted, Declan, I need you to roll me a perception check, a instinct check.
I would like to spend a hope for my soulbound ability, which is I promised these people that I would keep them safe while we're traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to ensure that I am doing my utmost to make it happen.
Perfect. All right. Go ahead and roll me that with a +2. Like copy these.
That's an 11 with fear.
11 with fear. All right. So I will take that fear as your fear counter is now up to 6. I now have 6 fear dice to use. As you look forward, and for a second you could have swore you heard something rattle in the woods, a twig that snapped. But quickly, before you're able to really discern that it's anything more than just an animal running off, a cat squirrel running off into the woods, you kind of notice your teammate Costella kind of snap out of something and kind of being looked off as you're distracted now with that. As we jump over, let me grab this and I'll go back to my adventure. As you guys all of a sudden start rolling up upon a cart in the middle of the forest. It seems to be, well, okay, let me get back to my adventure. As you were steering the steeds around the corner a little bit too fast, as you kind of got distracted with the corner and the noise and now Costella, you pull around a tight corner, one wheel coming off the ground for just a moment, and you can see an overturned merchant's cart laying sideways in the path before you, blocking your way. A scattering of fruits and vegetables litter the trail. Something just occurred here. You could see trail marks of animal tracks that run off, but you can see mangled bodies underneath this cart as you look forward. What do you guys wish to do? From within, the rest of you all who are within it feel the carriage come to a stop as Declan kind of points out this now in front of you all, as kind of came around a little too quickly, kind of like you're right in front of it.
Leap the edge of the cart and start to move towards it.
Perfect.
Smells like an
Yeah.
ambush.
Me too.
Are you guys doing anything
I think
particular?
I'd be
Just kinda
immediately
walking
trying to
towards it?
see like if they're dead. Like, are the people dead? Are they alive? Like,
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can help people.
Okay.
And
Barnacle, stay close.
Is there a medicine style check on here? We'll do knowledge, I think, for that one, unless you guys want to say like instinct. So,
sounds good to
so you
me.
can roll for that.
College sounds good.
Barely. But 11 with hope by 1. I don't know if that.
You can take a hope.
Wow.
I got 15 for fear.
Oh no! All right,
15 for hope.
I'll take that. You get a hope. Garrick, as you're walking forward, this scene is chaotic as there's fruits and vegetables and bodies, and you try and like start picking up the cart, and it's grabbing all of your attention in this moment, and the adrenaline starts pumping. Is this fruit spotter? Is this blood? Is this, what are you seeing here? And it's taking you a second to process everything, but you're able to grab and pick up the cart enough for the other two to come up and see. Costello, as you walk forward, unfortunately it's clear to see as soon as you get there, this cart had been turned over, and it looked like there was a tree that had been felled over in front of this path that caused one of the wheels to come off. But unfortunately, as Garrick lifts the cart, you instantly know these people have died and have probably also been picked apart by some sort of maybe Strix Wolf or owlbear or something similar. Marlo, as you're kind of walking up and seeing the same, for a second, just the royal sort of like composure breaks for a second. And I will use a fear as suddenly the 5 of you, and let me place yourselves as well, hear a crack and rustle of branches as suddenly from coming out from 4 different points are bandit type thieves that start rolling out. So let's see,
For the
Declan,
donuts.
you'd be with the cart, Barnacle's protecting the box, you guys are all up here. Let's say Garrick's kind of holding it up, as unfortunately with a few of your fear rolls, you were ambushed. In a whirlwind of cracking branches and unsheathed blades, a group of 4 thistlefolk jumped from the brush alongside the road. The overturned cart was an ambush, even though, yes, you did see it coming, sort of. The rolls unfortunately played against you. So Declan, you're able to look up kind of at the same time as you warn them that this could be an ambush. As they stand before you, weapons drawn, blocking the road. They are going to go first because of the surprise kind of mechanics there. As we set up the battle map here. So they're going to take the first spotlight in this scenario as the ambush occurs. Let's see the thieves here. The melee with the target as oof. So because they did ambush you all, they are able to immediately move into melee with a target and make an attack against them. So I'm gonna say,
I have an ability called No. Oh, just kidding.
how about no?
Nope, like in what's it called? Not electric kittens. What am I trying to say? Exploding kittens.
Exactly. How about no?
Electric kittens.
So this one's gonna come up into range from above, kind of standing above you, Declan, as you look up and fire away with its bow. And in kind of just breaking the veil a little bit, so you guys know we want to learn how to play Daggerheart. One of the differences as a DM is I'm not rolling D12s. I'm actually rolling a D20. And I have a simple modifier for all of my monsters, just like you do for your agility, finesse, or anything. And that's how we roll against your evasion. It's very streamlined and kind of cool, and it's got the same thing. It's got thresholds and a certain amount of HP slots. So funny enough, Rachel, I don't know if you remember when I was going to do my narrative game and I had like levels of HP instead of like numbers. So like if you hit 1 through 10, they get 1 level of HP gone. It's actually very similar to this. So Declan, they shoot forward with a 22. Does a 22 hit? Pretty sure it does.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah, I rolled a natural 20 on that one. But that does happen at times.
Characters, Mike. What do you think?
Hey, the fun side is it's all balanced with the damage. Yeah, I was like, I don't know why I'm asking this. But you're gonna take 8 points of physical damage. So we'll walk through this for the first time. What is your threshold, your damage threshold?
It is 10 per minor.
Perfect. So because it's less than 10, you can either take 1 HP slot because it's minor, or you can decide to mark off one of your armor slots to take no damage whatsoever.
I'll take an armor slot.
Perfect. As the arrow springs forward and kind of glances off your shoulder piece, it is busted a little bit, but it's able to hold up and keep you safe.
I don't wear armor, technically. It's my bare bones strength of muscles blocking it.
Perfect. As you just flex, and I never know how to describe this. It kind of pierces into you to the point of like it's just a flesh wound as you break it off and does no major damage to you or actual damage to you. Perfect. So they do that. This one's going to jump down. I keep on running to the wrong one. This one's going to jump down to here. This one's going to come into here. Oh, and also since we're now in combat, just to explain the distances as well. Unless you have an ability, like these have an ability that allows them to just run right into melee. With part of your movement without having to do a roll, there's melee range, which is just like D&D, so any of the 5 squares right around you. There's very close, which is basically like reach, so anything between 5 or 10 feet, so those 2 squares. Then there's close, which is anything between 5 feet and 30 feet, so that's 1 movement. So in any movement that you do, you can still attack and do an action with a close range movement. So you have up to 30 feet to move with any character. If you decide to go further, that's called far distance. That's anywhere between 30 feet to 100 feet. You just have to succeed on an agility roll. That's a risk because let's say you try and go 50 feet and still take an action. If you fail with failure, it's now my turn. So you kind of stop before you're able to attack. And then very far is anything 100 feet or more. Typically, most abilities are at the very least within far range. So if that helps describe kind of movement and spatial stuff, if you have any questions, ask me and I can tell you what the distances are. There are some rulers and things like that they have that you can like download, but I feel like in D&D terms, we can explain that pretty easily. So they rush into melee. So Marlo, does a 11 hit? Rachel.
Oh, yes. I'm at 10.
You're at 10?
I don't know why I thought Marlo was someone else. It's definitely me. Uh-oh. Yeah. 10.
You take 8 points of slashing as they rush a kind of like a sword down your back.
So could I spend a point of armor to make it minor?
Yep. It was that in your major threshold?
Well,
8.
It was over my minor, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's what,
so like
1 to 7.
Minor is 7 for me.
Yeah. So that'd be in the major, so you can do 1 armor slot to bring it down to minor, so you only take 1 point of damage.
Yeah, I do that.
Perfect.
Okay.
Castella, I'm guessing an 18 hits.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. You're gonna take 4 points of physical damage, so you can use 1 armor slot to reduce it to 0, or just take 1 point of damage.
We got a raid, by the way, Mike.
Hello, raiders. Let me see who raided us.
Armor slot, I guess.
Roy Martini, thank you so much for joining. My name is Bardicdice, and we're just doing a fun learn how to play with Daggerheart, a little one shot tonight. So thank you guys for jumping in. Sorry I'm not as active with chat tonight, but normally I jump in there, but you guys are on the far side of my screen tonight, which is unfortunate. So Castella, what did you want to do?
Armor slot.
Okay, so you mark off one of your armor slots. So if you had 3, it goes down to 2, but you take no damage to your HP. And last but not least, Garrick. That's an 18 to you. Wow, I'm rolling really well against you guys, unfortunately.
Yep.
You take 4 points of physical damage.
Okay.
Wow, this is weird. Bardic never rolls like this. He's gonna roll really low.
Different system,
I
that's
will
it.
mark
That's
off
this.
an armor to prevent
This is
that.
the no mercy Bardic tonight. The Bardic barrage. Anyways, perfect. On that note, typically, as when every enemy goes, I typically give the spotlight back to you. Usually they don't do multiple things, but let's say I had enemies that hadn't gone, I could spend fear to then continue, which actually, let me check. Do I have to spend fear on this? I don't think I do. Oh, I was like supposed to do way more damage than that, but that's okay. Anyways, that's my fault. So the spotlight is going to go back to you guys. So it's up to you who wishes to go first. Or if you'd like to activate something or do something that doesn't take a roll, you can jump in and do that real quick.
I'm going to do a couple of non-roll things real quick.
Oh.
I am going to... Well, for one thing, I can't select my character right now. So, there's that.
Awkward. Okay, why don't you guys bring your tokens back out?
Yeah, drag mine in.
Oh, they're huge.
I'm huge.
There we go.
Am I really that size?
Mark used the ability giant.
All right.
Oh no.
All right. Okay.
I'm
Ellie.
big.
Spin around, breakdance.
Are you?
I will. I'm
Stop
just
doing
gonna
the
spin
Kelly.
like this.
Sure, watching Kelly just spin.
I miss Kelly spinning.
She was, I just want to
I wanted
move.
to relive that.
I just thought of that breakdance lady from Australia in the Olympics right
Oh
now.
my gosh. So funny. Okay. So yes, what are you doing, John?
I am going to initiate Unstoppable.
Perfect.
And then I want to get within melee range of this guy.
Perfect. Awesome. Yep,
That
that's
shot at me.
within close, so I'd say you're easily able to get up there. Do you wish to do an attack or no?
I want people to get their turns in first. I just
Perfect.
wanted to close that distance.
Sounds good. Anybody else?
I'm
I'm trying to
actually.
think.
Yeah, I don't know how spell casting works. It was confusing me.
Yep, I'm trying. I've been staring at this. I have the exact. I don't know what means
Sure.
what.
So
Did you say these were bramble people too?
Thistlefolk.
Is
Thistle
it
folk?
using this?
Thistle.
Is it using that?
You would know that they're basically like bandits in this world. All right, Marlo, what are you specifically looking at? Like Unleash Chaos? Rain of Blades?
Yeah.
Okay, so Unleash
Unleash.
Chaos
Okay.
is a spell. So if
Yeah.
you see up at the top right, there's a one. Oh, don't worry about that. That has nothing to do with this. So Unleash Chaos. At the beginning of a session, place a number of tokens equal to your spellcast trait on this card. Guessing your spell trait is 2, right?
Oh, okay.
So you put 2 tokens on there. Make a spellcast roll against a target within far range and spend any number of tokens to channel raw energy from within yourself to unleash against them. So basically you would make a D12 roll, adding your, I guess it's for whatever your instinct is. Sorry, that's on your primal origin sheet. And then anybody within far, so it's pretty much anyone here. You can decide to use any of those tokens on a success. Roll a number of d12s equal to the tokens you spent, so 1 or 2, and deal that much magic damage to the target. Mark a stress to replenish this card with tokens up to your spellcast trait. At the end of each session, clear all unspent tokens. So you can mark stresses to add tokens back to this
To keep going.
to keep going. So a spellcast
So if
roll is just an attack roll, essentially, just with magic.
Okay. Why does it say D10s instead of D12s to roll?
Because that's your damage type instead of the roll to hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just use both of them, honestly.
Cool. So you're going to roll 2d12 plus instinct.
Okay.
Unless you want to add an experience or someone wants to give her advantage. And then D, I'll come back to you in a second.
So I got a 10 total with hope.
with hope. Okay, so you're gonna mark a hope to yourself. As
Okay.
I go back to my enemy sheet real quick. I believe. I don't think that hits, unfortunately. Said 10, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so far down. Thistle Folk Ambusher. Yes, unfortunately, that does not hit their evasion.
Oh. Okay.
So you still gain a hope.
If I want to use that experience section to boost more to it, does
You would have had to
that
do it
work or no?
beforehand, but yes, you could have.
Oh.
So yes, you just have to call that before the roll is.
Oh.
The results are given. Let's put it that way.
I do it anyway because I didn't know. You don't have to.
Next time.
Wow,
the good thing is,
good work.
the good thing is, you guys keep the spotlight because it's not a fear. So even though you missed, you still have hope, so you guys can keep it. I think technically I can spend a fear to grab the spotlight, but I'm going to keep it on you guys. So
and Rachel, I think technically if you really wanted to, because you roll with hope, we keep the spotlight. You can attack again if you want, or you can let somebody else try to attack.
It's true.
First.
Yeah, go and give it another try.
Okay, but I have to expend a stress because I wasted the 2, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, can I? Because I have that not on my watch, and I was kind of figuring it makes it like she's really protective.
Go for it.
So could I add that also on top of it? Okay.
I like it. Perfect.
Okay.
So mark a hope to add the experience.
Oh yeah.
So these are the resources that you're using. Yep.
Yeah. All
See how
right.
it's making a little bit more sense as you're playing along. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got 13, 14, 15, 17 with hope.
With hope. Awesome. So you gave it another hope. So basically that's a free hope.
Sweet.
Go ahead and roll either 1 or 2d10.
Yeah, I'll use both of them again.
Perfect.
So
which one are you going after, by the way? Sorry.
I'll do the one. Can I do them? They're projectiles. Could I do 1 to each? Like 1 to 1?
I think it's just 1, but I'd have to reread it. I think it's just 1
Channel
attack.
raw energy to unleash. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay. That's fine. So total, that's 12.
I was gonna say you want to hit both on one anyway. Which one are you hitting? You can hit any of them. There's no disadvantage if they're in melee or anything like that.
I'll just do the one in front of me.
Perfect. Because its threshold is 12, that means you're now hitting it for 2 HP instead of just 1. As what does your magic look like as you unleash chaos on it?
Ooh. It is really, they look like they are like arrows, but they're just like glowy. And they explode. They look like they explode on impact.
Are they
Very
sparkly?
colorful.
When they explode?
I don't think Marlo's a sparkle girl,
sparkles,
even though I
okay.
would love to add sparkles myself.
Perfect.
They're more like explosions.
So as you kind of summon forward and create these astral kind of arrows that blast forward and they kind of glow and then boom, and burst with this explosion of magic.
Yeah.
As this thing is shredded into magical ash. So it's with hope. So you guys keep the spotlight. Dealey, Costello was thinking about doing something. Which one are you looking at? And we can kind of go over it.
I guess rousing speech. It says once per long rest, you can give a heartfelt, inspiring speech. All allies within far range clear 2 stress.
Perfect.
I can do it once per long rest.
If
So
you
I
wish
would
to do
save
that.
for when we have stress.
Wait, I thought people did have stress.
There's some stress. There's not a lot at the moment.
I'm stressed.
Yeah.
I have
Like-
1 stress.
So like your rally though right now, that gives people advantage die, right? So like that would be something where
Oh, yeah. We'll
That'd be
just pivot. Rally.
Barnacle says, what'd you say about me? Because he said rivet. Yeah,
Once per
okay.
session, describe how you rally the party, which is literally just me saying this verbatim. And give yourself and each of your allies a rally dice. I am not creative on the spot for some reason.
It's
Don't
fine.
let this reflect if you watch anything else I'm in.
You, what's your favorite instrument of Costello's? What does she play?
It's always a violin.
Violin, as you take it out and give a rallying, quick tune to your violin, as the spiritual nature of the music
She's a
brightens it
wordsmith
up.
though, so I think instead of an instrument, she just lays down a sick poem.
You lay
or
down a
something.
rap, and you as you just start giving out the rap of a century in the middle of this forest. No, yeah, you give a nice poem that enlightens everyone in the darkness of this forest. So everyone on, what is it, their next attack, it's an advantage?
Yeah, so your rally dice is a d6. A PC can spend their rally dice to roll it, adding the result to their action roll, reaction, damage, or to clear a number of stress equal to the result. At the end of each session, clear all unspent rally dice. So a d6 to reaction, action, damage, or to clear stress.
Perfect. So you guys all got that?
Nice. Yeah.
Perfect. So you each get to have one of those. All right, and because you didn't do a roll, it's still your turn. Spotlight's on you guys. So, Mark, do you wish to do anything?
Sure. So I'm going to wield my long sword and just kind of take a look at them all and just say, you get one chance to turn this around, or I'm going to keep doing what I'm about to do. And I'm going to activate my no mercy mode by spending 3 hope.
No mercy.
No
Mark!
mercy,
What?
Mark!
Is that why you picked him?
It says no mercy. I didn't see that when I picked the character, but
Oh my gosh, it was
vibing.
fate.
It was
So-
meant
I
to
can't
be.
believe it.
I need to
so
see
I'm
some
activating
emotes
no
in the
mercy
chat.
mode.
Mark, can you please put your emo in the chat because I can't. This is
Sure,
really
no
important.
mercy, Mark.
Yeah.
Put it in the
Rachel.
chat.
Thank you.
We need to get
Gotcha.
you. We need to get your membership. Come on, girl.
I know.
We keep giving it to you, but
I know. It goes away after a month.
you don't have a Prime
Alright.
membership or anything. Just give yourself
No.
free memberships. You don't
I would love that.
be like, Mom, Dad, do you have a Prime membership? And I can just, that's what I did. My mom is still attached. I have 1 sub a month. It's my mom's Prime.
That's awesome.
Actually, I think there's like 1 or 2 others, but anyways.
Question.
Yes.
Roll the dice, but not know the result, and then decide to use an experience, or do
So
I
you
have
have
to
to
use the
choose
experience
before.
before I roll the dice?
Before.
Okay.
I have to read up on that, but that's at least how I've always had it played at my tables. So
Okay. So
Pretty sure it's before.
I'm just gonna go all out on this one because why not?
Why
I'm gonna
not?
also
it's also getting a little
spend
late. So yeah.
another hope to activate my hit 'em hard ability because I'm about to hit this guy hard to send a
Heck
message
yeah.
to everyone else that they should not try to mess with us.
Let's do it.
All right. So dice total 16 hope plus 2, so 18 plus 2 for my weapon, so 20 total with hope. Or 21 because of my no mercy.
Yeah. I think you hit, buddy. You gain a
Yes.
hope. So you get that hope back.
Sweet. And then
That's one thing I like about this. You
of-
tend to get your hope back a lot, unless on some days you're just always rolling fear. But you tend to get it back, so it tends to like allow you to keep using your skills. Where sometimes I feel like in D&D you're like, ooh, I'm so scared to use stuff.
So when it says a +1 to attack rolls, is that only the roll to hit, or does that also include damage?
Where does it say that?
In my no mercy, spend 3 hope to gain +1 bonus to your attack rolls until your next rest.
So just the attack roll, not the damage. Yeah.
Just attack.
Mhm.
Okay, those are distinct. Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good. So that ends up being oh, I can reroll this because it's a 2. Sweet. Just like that's a bad roll, but I
No
have the
mercy.
ability over here, not good enough, so I can reroll it.
He starts laughing at you. And you kind of turn the blade upwards and like start re-hitting him again.
10.
10 points of damage.
10, yes.
Yay!
Yeah, you kind of slash against his shoulder and hit him pretty hard, but he doesn't look like he's fully beaten quite yet.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
That's what I'll do for now.
Perfect.
Give somebody else a chance,
Declan,
just
you haven't done anything yet.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to attack that guy up there. That is a
I guess roll a fear. I want to take over the game.
That's a 16 with hope.
Yeah, they're crazy. Yeah, that hits. You gain hope.
2.
How many hopes? So hopeful.
How many hopes?
I'm talking to your guy, right?
Yeah. And
Or-
then I rolled a. Oh, that's nice. Okay. 13 points of damage.
Oof. Yeah. As
Nice.
you swing forward, how describe your attack on this one?
As he's running up, he kind of, as he jumps out of the cart to run up, he kind of grabs his sheath, kind of tosses it back so he can bring the blade up. And just because the guy is kind of on a high ground area, he kind of uses the reach of the great sword and sort of a stabbing motion to kind of just get him pierced right through.
Perfect. As
Slump
you
down the road.
pierce through, and with a kind of a guttural scream, he disapparates into ash. I need a instinct saving throw from you, Declan. Chronicle's just hiding in the car, be like, I got the chest. It's fine. You guys are doing great. You're doing great. Fantastic.
That's a 18 with fear.
Okay. Perfect. Go ahead, and as for a moment, you are also brought back to a moment as a memory seems to unlock, as the scream of death pulls and unlocks some memory from you. I will grab a fear for that. However, you did succeed, so you don't need a mark of stress. But what memory comes to mind in this moment of a former life that you had previously forgotten?
Make it about pastries.
No.
No.
How about no?
That was so
Sure,
previous.
sure. We'll add pastries into it. Family being ushered out the back of a door as what seems to be a mob moving forward. Dark silhouettes against a burning sky. What was left of pastries on the table strewn about the floor, smashed underfoot of those in retreat. A promise made as a lone man, as Declan feels himself alone standing at the doorway.
Important question: strawberry or blueberry? What tragedy. So as this moment of death and these just scenes flash before your mind, as suddenly the fire, you feel this heat burn around, as suddenly you realize this village has no escape. So then suddenly you come back, and the sounds of fighting kind of distract you enough that you don't take a stress. You're not totally stunned or anything, but you whip around and see your friends still in the midst of battle, though with the intensity of attacks and the rallying cry of your bard, these enemies begin to run off, intimidated that you took out their leader. There's no opportunity attacks in this game unless you have an ability that says so. But do you guys wish to? Yep. That one. Yes. Would you like to attack?
One, leave no survivors.
Yes, I would like to attack.
Perfect. Go for it. As he turns, kind of like holding one shoulder.
All right.
And you guys know these are the people that did this to the cart, so they're not good people. You
Yeah.
can almost like smell it and sense it off their spirits in a weird way. They've been definitely tainted by corruption.
Am I able to roll that D6 that D gave after my roll, or was that the next roll, or how did that work? I forgot whenever that was applicable.
So I think it's before the roll's advantage or after his damage.
It says adding the result to the action roll.
Okay,
Or
so
whatever
before
you're using
I
it for.
roll the dice, I have to say I'm gonna use it. Or can I
No,
choose
it doesn't
to roll and
it
then
doesn't
plug that in
specify.
there if I don't like it?
Yeah, is this like Bardic Inspiration where you kind of get to use it?
I'm gonna say
like,
for now,
if you
yes,
want
you
a
can do it
little extra?
afterwards since it's in that
Okay.
design. I don't really know. I'd have to look it up and really dive deep, but in essence, it sounds like it would make sense. Use like a Bardic Inspiration.
Perfect. Well, that I think has a good chance to hit with a 15 with hope.
Perfect. You gain a hope back, and that hits.
And then I can use this in damage then. This D6,
Mhm.
you said.
Yep.
Mhm.
I will go ahead and do that. Oops, I need my right dice. This one. Yes. Max
good.
on the damage die. Plus 6, so 14.
Oof. Yeah, as you come cleaving down, what does this look like when you take them out?
Just this realization of what they've done and just kind of this preying on innocent travelers. Just something awakens within him of this disgust towards this behavior and just drives his sword straight through them and drops them to the ground before they can turn to flee.
Perfect. Go ahead and give me a instinct saving throw as well. I'm going to truncate our game a little bit just because of time. So we'll kind of go ahead and make this the last battle. There is one more battle in the adventure if we had a little bit more time, or we can come back to another time if you guys ever wish.
13 hope.
13 hope, perfect. Again, these memories unlock a bit as your spirit kind of in this moment of vengeance and justice matches with another moment in a former life. What does that look like for you?
Would this be one that also ties into death or just kind of on
It doesn't have to because you rolled with hope. It could if you wish. It doesn't have to. If you wish to express that, you can, but it doesn't have to.
I will tie it into death a little bit as well, as I wake up in the dark in my room, in bed, feeling my heart pounding, realizing something's wrong. I sense a presence beside me lying there. Can't really remember who it is or what it is. But I look at the foot of my bed, and there's a hooded figure standing there. I briefly smell the faint smell of pastries as this figure says, "This is our revenge." That's the last thing I remember.
Nice.
Pastry
You
Bandit
haven't seen
strikes
the use of
again.
it.
Bow, bow, bow. Mm.
Who is this monster?
As
The
the
baguette
last
burglar.
moments, as both blood and sweet of pastry is the last scent that comes to mind as suffocation comes to you in the form of pastries, and your visage blackens out as some of your last memories of this former life. Does anyone wish to attack this other one running off, or do you let it go?
Yeah, can I kick it? I
Sure.
have goat legs.
Sure.
Chase it down and kick him.
You run after it and kick it. Go for it. Roll me d12s with I guess a drill order.
You
strength.
should say it on our thing.
7, 8, 9. 9 with hope.
Yeah, if it's an actual move.
A melee. Yeah, I don't know. Well, agility is sprint,
What-
dodge, and leap. Is that what you're talking about?
Does it say on the thing?
When you succeed on an attack roll.
Why am I
It's a melee
imagining
range. Oh, it's
just
melee
the
range.
king from Shrek and
Yeah,
just the
so
gingerbread?
what you do is you chase him down, So I think the way it reads sounds like she would chase him down, hit him with her weapon, and then kick him as well.
Oh, perfect.
By marking a stress.
Cool.
So the one attack roll just gets like a damage addition to it.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a rapier.
Do you wish to kick him as well at the same time?
Well, yeah, that was my goal.
Their special move.
So mark a stress and then roll a 2d12 plus whatever
that's...
modifier goes with it.
Can I yell, go get him for a hope?
Perfect.
As well.
You can add a d6 for advantage with that as well.
+1 to your rapier proficiency.
10? But you just did something, Mark?
If
So
you can
then I
add a
roll this?
d6.
Okay, you can add your d6.
Plus a 6. Thank you for your luck. That's a 16 with hope.
Perfect. So you get a hope back. And then roll me damage with
Okay.
your rapier and your hooves.
My foots.
Your fooves.
That's a 1.
I think your hills are 2d6.
And then my hose. 5. 6.
Perfect for 7 points.
Yep.
As luckily he's already damaged. As you kick him into the river bank and his neck kind of cracks against some stones as you've taken out the last of the thistle folk. For brevity's sake, you guys were able to clear this clearing out, push the cart out of the way. Maybe even at some point came across a Strix wolf with its babies and were able to use animal handling to get around it if you wanted to. Who knows?
Nice.
Yeah, it could be crazy. But you find your way into Hush. As asking around a few times, you're able to quickly find Arcanist Whitefire. As just for the sake of this, this is kind of a bit of a glance of what Hush looks like on the outskirts as you're walking in. Sort of a modern town, and Garrick running after another riblet there. But as you guys enter into town, or let me get this out a little bit more. Perfect. All right. So there we go. Yeah, that works. Okay. As you guys enter town, you're able to find Arcanist Whitefire, which doesn't actually look like this, but I just thought this was really fun. As he welcomes you in. Oh, wow. Yes, hello. Welcome to meet your acquaintance. What brings you here? As you explain that you have the chest, and as you open it up, as he unlocks it with some arcane magic, you realize that you've actually been transporting a what is it called? A stone hole? A blanking out. What is it called? So as inside King Emerus's package lies a massive stone with a lion's face carved into it. Marlowe, you recognize this as the keystone of the capital city's gate's main archway. The Arcanist nods sagely as soon as he sees it, saying, "Of course the king would keep this delivery secret. If anyone knew your city was no longer warded, you'd be conquered before sunrise." With this ominous warning, he starts to unfurl the fire yet again. "We must travel to the open vale to revitalize this ward. Such an effort of magic will attract dangerous creatures from the darkest reaches of the Sablewood. I'm going to need your help." As we had plenty of time as you all gather around a cart in a ritualistic spot within the woods in a clearing, as wraiths and skeletons began to come out as he began this ritual. Basically, the mechanics of Daggerheart is that you guys would have a countdown. So you would start at 6, and you would, anytime you kill an enemy, the round counter would go down. So the goal is to get it to 0. Anytime a monster attacks the carriage or the Arcanist successfully, the timer goes back up. So it's essentially a kind of a war of attrition for you to see if you can take them out first. It was very easy for you guys to disable these skeletons. The wraiths definitely took much of your energy and health to take down. But while you guys were doing it, and the ritual of the stone began to activate, again, you could feel your spirits being pulled towards the stone in a way that felt odd. As each strike against the wraiths and the skeleton, you almost felt a pull and a separation. And even at one point, in interaction with the wraith, you guys look back and you could see Declan's spirit actually come out of his body for a second and stand there looking transparent like a spirit would, before you guys were able to assist him and get him back in to his body before the end of the fight. Last but not least, Marlowe, as the arcane energies of this stone begins to radiate and pull you, I need an instinct saving throw. As all of you now are each strike and each attack that you get are unlocking memories, and like the fog is being lifted as each wound feels like a wound opening up from a distant memory and a distant life.
I got a with you when you add instinct, I got a 14 with hope.
So many with hopes, guys. I'll even take you to the clearing where you guys are at. So this would be the clearing where you guys would have fought them all off, and you guys are in the middle of currently. Marlowe, in this moment, and I'm going to even change the music for this one. You and the rest of you all, as the enemies and monsters die off, and you can see their spirits freed from the corruption going back into the island, realize for a second that this stone is beginning to pull your own spirit from your body. Marlowe, what's the memory and the unflash that occurs at the moment of your death?
Yeah. So it was a sunny day, birds were chirping, and it was just, it was just a great day. I got my promotion to be like one of the head security people at a different royal palace. I do the same thing apparently. To celebrate, I go to my favorite bakery.
What?
To get a bagel. And as I am happily eating, I realize I feel a little dizzy as I'm sitting there. And I think, well, maybe it's because I'm dehydrated. And I get a glass of water and I keep eating my bagel. And then suddenly I'm not breathing and I'm dead. Perhaps poisoned by a baker.
You thought this bagel tasted a little off for the quality, but it was fresh and delicious for the most part. Maybe you just thought they tried a matcha taste in this one for, just for funsies. But again, as the world around you, the colors of this this magic first city of towering buildings around you fades away and you hit the ground, you feel yourself floating now above your body. And all of you remember these moments of your death as your body is now floating above your body, looking at this moment of separation. And you feel yourself being summoned upwards into the heavens towards wherever you were meant to go. But then you didn't go there. For some reason, you woke up here without your memories, with a fog, but a peace in this physical body among the spirits of Obajima. And as you look around at each other, suddenly you can now both see a spirit form of yourself and a physical form of yourself. As the archivist looks at you all and, well, thought you all smelled a little different. No offense. Thank you for your sacrifice. This stone is now cured of corruption, though it will take a week's worth to regenerate. And I'll return it back to the city. Unfortunately, I apologize. I didn't know you all were, well, spirits, actually.
Us either.
Yeah, you know, I don't think I did either. I just knew I hated bagels. And that was, just thought it was a.
Yes, you all keep, you were moaning of pastries and bandits. It was quite concerning, actually. I thought you were all having strokes or something. But hope is not all lost, as hope won today against fear. You all have a choice. If you wish, you can remain with me as the stone heals, and I think I can sew back some of the disconnects of your spirits to these physical bodies. Though, for those that know Arcana, rejuvenation sometimes does bring you a different form. You might look different than you do now. Or, if you are ready to rest from your adventures before, it looks like the island is welcoming you if you wish to remain here as a spirit, guiding those adventurers in future stakes, being their companions and guides. And he waves a bit of a portal of like an image, and you guys can see, very similar to what happened to you when you first arrived here, is Pip in a shop. Just kidding. It looks like Pip. It's really funny.
They even have that hairstyle.
Seriously, yeah. I was like, wow, okay. We're definitely using this.
I'm the duck.
As you look into this framework, and it's very familiar to you, as you were all these newbies that arrived on this island in human form without these memories, but powers and abilities. And these companions, whether they're spirits or ducks or little spirit folk or different types, or even a mage with purple witchcraft robes took you under their wings. At some point, you all had mentors that welcomed you to the island and taught you the ways of the Obajima spirits. He invites you. You could either return to another form of a physical body, or you could choose to go forward as a spirit, whether in this realm, or if you wish, as a ghost in the other realm, and explore the spiritual realm. But he looks to all of you each and says, you all deserve everything that has come to you. The choice is yours. What do you guys choose? We'll start with Declan.
As he offers it, Declan's first thought is, I mean, this is the life I know. But deep down inside, something's tugging at him. A promise that was made. Promise attached to that memory. Silhouettes, burning scene, smashed pastries, people fleeing. And he knows he needs to be back there. So that's where he's heading.
So you choose body, physical?
Yep.
In hope of maybe uncovering a portal back to this home world that you now remember. All right. Costello, in this moment, individual to you, what calls to you in this moment? Remain here and join the life of the island as a spirit, or maybe even as a mentor, or do you feel afterlife is somewhere else, or a life for you is off this island?
That there's something more, like Declan had said too. And what did you choose?
Going back to my body.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, both of you, and like he says before, you might have certain changes, but maybe that's part of the journey, is to rediscover your original body as well. Marlo, as this divergent path is now offered to you, maybe freedom from your duties, on one hand, and the other hand, the responsibility of keeping up those duties. What do you decide?
I'm Marlo. Every time.
Rachel.
I don't know why. It's because I didn't pick the name. It's because it was a pre-generated name. That's
It tells you guys you can change the names if you want.
Oh, I forgot, honestly. I like the name too. That's a really cool
great
name.
name.
I like the idea of the wizard from the kingdom, the royal wizard, being talk to themselves in the third person.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Marlo.
Marlo does this. Marlo says this. I think the idea of like mentorship would really appeal to her. It just seems like she's kind of like that's what the role she likes anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she would choose that.
Perfect. Who knows? Maybe you're the one in the purple robes in the picture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And last but not least, Garrett.
So I think Garrick would think back to that form that was beside him. Maybe it was a pet, maybe it was a loved one. And that motivation to undo or make right what was done to him and potentially protect that individual or whatever it was, he decides to go back.
Perfect. The three of you choosing your bodies back, another choosing a physical form, but maybe one more tied to the island than the others.
Mm.
Who knows what the story tells next? But what is true about what happened here today is that it binds us all together as the stories, both on your hearts from your previous adventures, the journeys that you've taken together on this island, and now diverging past those that the spirits in our chat that have been watching and joining along with in the story that you have all told, we now get to share together. And as we walk forward from the story, maybe the stories aren't quite over, as they live on within our hearts and our minds and manifest in new stories. Maybe ones that will converge together again on Obajima in a future time. But that's where we'll end today's session and today's story. As we thank all of you guys so much for joining in for our one shot. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Daggerheart. We have a couple minutes, maybe about 5 more minutes. I was actually kind of interested in hearing your just initial reactions. They could be, I hate it, or I love it, or I still on the fence. But just kind of, I'm just kind of interested with, at the small amount of glance you guys had, what is your first take or first reactions from playing in Daggerheart? Maybe not necessarily my storytelling, but the mechanics side of it.
Well, yeah, first of all, good job. It was good job staying even on time.
I know, that was fun.
All that. I'm really proud of you.
I never do that.
Yeah, descriptions were fun. Obajima was cute. The system itself actually reminds me a lot of like a more simplified version of City of Mist, because you have these like really specified abilities that you can add to that's like very customizable to whoever like your character's gonna be, like those experiences. And yeah, I like that you can kind of be a little cyclical with like spell casting or you know, different things like that. I like that you can expend more stress to get more spells. Like I thought that was cool. Because it kind of, you can make that super narrative too. Like if you're, you know, running out of spell slots, you're like killing yourself for it basically. Like expending too much. The spells themselves were kind of confusing, but I think that would probably just be like the more I did it, the more I would have gotten it.
Yeah, I'd say that was one thing I wish I had more time with, or we had done a session 0. Session 0 is almost just as fun because you get to go through different options. So you get to choose the abilities that cater to you and you would know as how you'd want to play to your style. But also, there's also something called connections that we didn't go over in this game. But there's something that like joins you all together. So like if I had more time, it would have been, Marlowe, what is your connection with Castella? Was there something that she saw that has a secret on you, or is there something you trust about her? And it's part of the like the equation style. So like it gives you guys bonds to work off starting from the beginning, and also the abilities that same way. Like as you level up and as you do it your own, you can really like cater to those like abilities a little bit better. So yeah, pre-gen was hard. I know it was really hard for me as well, because I played Barnacle the first time and I was like I don't know how to use this, but like now that I'm playing Mithranon and chose it myself, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I can cater this how I want.
If you're able to like build the framework, it feels like it would be really easy to improv within the framework that you built.
Yeah.
So it does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually City of Mist was something I thought about at first, because I feel like this is just a little bit more of a structured version of City of Mist. City of Mist sometimes has a little bit more of a free-for-all. I feel like this still has the mechanics in a bit like D&D, but not quite. So it's like in that middle ground, but no, I liked it a lot. Cool. Yeah, anybody else have any thoughts want to give?
Yeah, I echo what Rach said. I knew that this was going to be more open-ended sandbox, but I feel like, I don't know, obviously I had the deer in headlights look the entire time. I think it's just because I am used to a little bit more structure on this, and like the character sheet I think makes sense when you know what you're looking for, but I spent the entire time scrolling trying to find the thing that was actually just at the top. And that's a me thing. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really feel that much different from how generally play D&D, but it also is. But I don't know. I can't even like give it my full like.
Yeah, these are just initial gut reactions.
Yeah,
so.
it's interesting, but I'm hesitant on it. So, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I love it. Anybody else?
I like the narrative bouncing back and forth on it. I definitely had some hiccups of like just trying to understand the initial mechanics in terms of like when to spend hope, when to spend dies, when to use class feature abilities that have limitations to them.
Sure.
The stuff that was less limited, that stuff I felt like I had a better grasp on, like, oh, I can use stress for this kind of thing or armor for this kind of thing. I feel like that was a little more straightforward. Some of the stuff that was like, oh, you can do this, like I misread on my thing, like it only works for a scene during each long rest. And I was like, oh, okay, I kind of misread how that worked. I thought it was you had that up until it didn't affect anything tonight, but it was one of those things that was like, oh, that's a misread. Again, that's just all like new system, new thing stuff, right? I felt fairly powerful, honestly, for a level 1 character. Because like I got hit, but it wasn't like, oh, that one hit now has obliterated my character.
Yeah.
Which is definitely a little bit different from what I've experienced with D&D.
that was a big shock for me, is like the damage levels that you can take. Like, whoa, okay. Like, oh, okay. That's not so bad. And it takes a while. It took me a long time. I'm still learning the balance of like when to take the armor, when to take the hit. And I think it really depends per class as well. Because like, you know, Castella had a healing thing without stress. So maybe leaning into stress would be better. And then mine, I can heal with a spell. So like, I'm like, shoot, forget my armor. I'll take hit points all day and then heal it on the next couple turns. So like, it's a lot of cool different combinations you learn over time.
Yeah, like a perfect example with mine, which, I mean, we didn't have enough combat, which is totally fine. I mean, it's a short,
we had one big more one to do, but yeah.
But like, it's interesting to see how things can stack in the game. I didn't mean to stack like this, but I'm reading through the abilities, right? So just an example is like my class feature, if I have it active, essentially I could reduce the severity of physical damage by a threshold. So I can make a major a minor. However, before that, I could mark a stress potentially to make severe damage into major damage. That's crazy. Then I can also take an armor slot, so you could literally, if you synergize things right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see like there's actual tank thing there. The one thing I would have a hard time seeing, because there's not like opportunity attacks though on a regular, is like what is there to really threaten the enemy from like running away from somebody who's trying to be more of like a tanky type character.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
Other than like the DMs working narratively with you to like not just be that kind of a
part of it's that. Yeah, for sure.
So I see some stuff there where like the opportunity attack, does give at least a penalty of some kind for like dodging in and out of stuff like that. That being said, I mean it's a whole different system. I like the narrative aspect. I did actually enjoy playing the game quite a bit. Just looking at things and comparing to my experience with other things, I'm like, okay, I can see where there's like some stuff where it's gonna have to be a little bit of DM deciding or DM. It's going to be important for the DM to not just like, oh, I know I can get away with these things, and there's nothing they can do about it, because I think there's a bunch of tricks you could easily do that can make it like, oh, your tank doesn't even get touched. They go and kill everybody else. They go and do this.
That's one thing that I read about in this one specifically, is like the DM is not to play against the players. You're just tell a story with them. It's very much that critical role like thing that they talk about. So like, yeah, I think if you came in with a DM that had that adversarial feel towards the players, which some do in D&D, and that's perfectly fine. That's the table you like, where it's like it's me against them sort of thing. Then, I could see where this could be taken advantage for sure. But yeah, Mark, do you have any comments before we end tonight's session?
Sure. I guess I'll say something I liked and something I didn't like, just to balance it out a little bit.
For sure.
But I do think that the whole damage and health system is interesting and how it kind of works out. And it does, I mean, one hit could just take out a player in 5e pretty easily.
Yeah. Here it's hard for me to do that, where you guys can take out an enemy pretty easily, but
it's just different. It gives, I think, a little bit more hardiness, but I mean, like some of the damage you did would have been major damage to me pretty easily, so I would have taken 2 from that, so that like it would have cut me down quickly. It just wouldn't have been like 1 round potentially. I'd go down in, which does make combat a little nicer for those first level players. So it's interesting how that works out. But I don't know, I guess first level, I guess I couldn't get a full view of it, but initial thoughts on the D12 system plus the small modifiers. It relies very heavily on what you roll on a die rather than trying to make stats that like feel like a character's strengths and weaknesses. Because I mean, you just roll low and you're never going to get a high enough modifier to get you up to be good, and if you roll high on something you're terrible at, it still won't be enough to like drop you down to something either. So it feels a little heavy on the die rolling like weight rather than building out a unique character based off of stats. So maybe that changes at higher levels and it can create a bigger variance, but
yeah, it does. As you level up, you can add you can add up to I think it's like 3 marks to your ability modifiers, but it's 1 per level sort of thing. So like you can eventually get up to 5 on like multiple ones, or you can add to your experiences to have like +4s or +6s. So like, yeah, it would definitely take leveling up to accomplish that versus like having that flavor be from the beginning of like, we could both be warlocks, but we have varying stats, that super.
You're like a rogue or a ranger who's like already got at least a little bit of expertise somewhere to.
Exactly. Yeah. So I do agree with that.
I don't know behind the scenes too, like a DM side of things, like what's the DC for different challenges typically? Like what's like an easy, medium, and hard challenge DC?
They have a table for it that's based on your levels typically, so it makes it pretty easy to categorize the tiers. Typically, I want to say it's like level DC 10 is like level 1, and I almost want to say it goes up by 1 or 2 per level. Or it's like like it's 10 for level 1 and 2 and like 12 for 3 and 4. It's something along those lines, but it's eventually like 15 to 18, I think, at like level 10 or 20, which at that point you'd be pretty easily pulling off that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, if the DCs are like relatively 10-ish, like statistically you're going to roll kind of about that most often, so it makes sense. But yeah, just the lack of variance. So like if you roll just a 3 and a 2 on your die, there's just nothing you can do, and you're never going to get there. But I'll end with the positive too. I think that the hope and fear thing kind of creates an interesting story element as well that you can kind of add into it based off of whatever die you roll higher. I mean, some people didn't roll their fear die that high most of the game, but I even had an ability to. I get a hope if I roll and get a fear.
Yeah, I have the same one too. Like, it's really cool.
But yeah, that is an interesting element to kind of shape the narrative with. I mean, you could roll high with fear or low with hope and have a different kind of way it goes based off that, which is, I think, a fun storytelling.
I barely used my fear tonight. I didn't have a chance really to enable too much fear mechanic. So no, yeah, you guys did really great. And I think that's what I love about this, is just an alternative. It's not anything supposed to, like, I keep telling people it's apples and oranges. I don't really feel like this is a replacement for D&D at all.
Yeah,
it's something different that caters to a different style of play. And right now, I think personally, I think this caters to maybe shorter games and one shots, though I'm interested to see what late game Daggerheart feels like in a long campaign. Currently I'm playing a Saturday morning one with DM Cass. She's on Start playing games. If you guys do ever want to go, just a little plug for her. And she does these learn to plays as well. With Angie, I don't know if you're still watching. She reminds me of you 100%. Like, literally, I want to put you guys both in a VC because you both sound exactly alike. It's hilarious. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining in. Who knows? There is a second adventure that they just dropped that continues on the story. So maybe we'll come back and see where your characters come back to, or maybe make new characters and see now that you have a chance to create them what they look like. But thank you guys, chat, so much. I love being back streaming with you guys. I will say still work. I'm not sure exactly how my consistency is going to look, but I would like to get back to some of these little one shots and mini series and do that. And right now I did just take a 4-month course of a certification, so it might not be consistent for at least 4 more months, but thank you guys so much for showing up tonight. And I'll post this on YouTube for anyone that does want to go back and take a gander at Daggerheart or learn some of the mechanics, or if you want to reach out to me, feel free. I actually really love this TTRPG, and I still love D&D, but I can see carving out a place for this in part of my week and stuff. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here. So thank you guys so much.